Think of a world ruled by giants, where survival was a brutal fight for dominance and the deadliest creatures to ever walk the earth prowled the landscape. From the bone-crushing bite of Tyrannosaurus rex to the razor-sharp claws of Velociraptor, these were nature's ultimate killing machines. For the next 2 hours or so, we will dive into the terrifying world of the most extreme dinosaurs, fearsome predators that towered over their prey, tore through flesh, and struck fear into anything that crossed their path. Welcome to the Age of Monsters. How did the extinction of other reptile species during the late Triassic period pave the way for the rise of dinosaurs? The late Triassic period was a time of significant upheaval and transformation, marked by mass extinctions that reshaped the biological landscape. The extinction event that wiped out many reptile species during this era opened up ecological niches that would later be dominated by dinosaurs. These extinctions are often attributed to massive volcanic eruptions linked to the breakup of the supercontinent Pangaea, leading to dramatic shifts in climate and oceanic environments. The abrupt environmental changes devastated various reptile groups that had previously thrived in more stable conditions, such as the large amphibians and early archosaurs. With these dominant reptilian competitors out of the picture, early dinosaurs were presented with a rare evolutionary opportunity. Before the extinction, dinosaurs were relatively small and less ecologically significant compared to their reptilian cousins, such as the crurotarsans, which included ancestors of crocodiles. The fall of these species gave the surviving dinosaurs the chance to exploit new resources and habitats. Freed from the intense competition for food and territory, these early dinosaurs could begin to diversify and occupy new ecological roles. In evolutionary terms, mass extinctions often act like reset buttons. While they bring destruction, they also clear the way for new species to rise. The surviving dinosaurs, already showing traits like bipedalism and more efficient locomotion, had key evolutionary advantages that allowed them to adapt quickly to the post-extinction world. Their ability to survive and thrive in the new, harsher environments of the late Triassic gave them a competitive edge over other species that were struggling to recover. This period also saw a shift in vegetation, with ferns and gymnosperms becoming more widespread. Herbivorous dinosaurs were able to capitalize on these changes, leading to a surge in their population. As plant eaters flourished, so did the carnivorous dinosaurs that preyed upon them. In a relatively short evolutionary window, dinosaurs evolved into the dominant terrestrial animals, beginning their reign that would last for over 160 million years. The extinction of their reptilian rivals during the late Triassic wasn't just a catastrophe, it was the spark that ignited the age of dinosaurs. What key evolutionary adaptations gave dinosaurs the advantage to dominate the Earth for over 160 million years? Dinosaurs did not simply rise to power by chance. Their dominance over such an extended period can be attributed to a series of evolutionary adaptations that gave them the flexibility to thrive in various environments and outcompete other species. One of the most important adaptations was their posture. Unlike many reptiles that had sprawling limbs, dinosaurs evolved an upright stance. This meant their legs were positioned directly beneath their bodies, allowing for more efficient locomotion. With this posture, dinosaurs could move faster, conserve energy, and cover larger distances, giving them a significant advantage over other creatures that lumbered or slithered across the landscape. Another critical adaptation was their respiratory system. Evidence suggests that many dinosaurs, particularly theropods, the group that includes species like Tyrannosaurus rex and modern birds, had a highly efficient system of air sacs that allowed them to take in oxygen continuously, even while exhaling. This advanced breathing system may have been crucial in enabling dinosaurs to endure hot, low-oxygen environments and maintain higher levels of activity, particularly in predator-prey dynamics. In addition, it gave them the ability to grow to massive sizes, a hallmark of many species, particularly in the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods. Dinosaurs also displayed remarkable diversity in their diet and feeding strategies, which allowed them to occupy almost every ecological niche. Herbivorous dinosaurs developed a wide range of specialized teeth, beaks, and digestive systems, enabling them to process tough plant materials that other animals couldn't. Meanwhile, carnivorous dinosaurs evolved razor-sharp teeth, claws, and hunting strategies that placed them at the top of the food chain. Some, like the smaller theropods, developed advanced hunting tactics such as pack behavior, which allowed them to take down prey much larger than themselves. Another game-changing adaptation was the evolution of feathers in certain dinosaur lineages. Initially, feathers likely served as insulation, allowing these dinosaurs to regulate their body temperature more effectively. However, as these structures evolved, they paved the way for flight in some species, leading to the rise of birds, the only dinosaur lineage that survives today. The presence of feathers in non-avian dinosaurs like Velociraptor may have also given them advantages in camouflage, mating displays, or thermoregulation. Lastly, dinosaurs exhibited significant reproductive advantages. Many dinosaurs laid large clutches of eggs, increasing their chances of survival despite the dangers of predation. In addition, evidence suggests some dinosaur species may have exhibited parental care, protecting and nurturing their young, a trait that further enhanced their evolutionary success. These adaptations, from their physical structure to their complex behaviors, allowed dinosaurs not just to survive, but to dominate a constantly changing world for an astounding 160 million years. Their evolutionary toolkit was perfectly suited for both the challenges and opportunities presented by the prehistoric Earth. What environmental changes during the Triassic period contributed to the rapid diversification of early dinosaurs? The Triassic period, a time of immense environmental shifts, was crucial in shaping the path for dinosaur diversification. As the supercontinent Pangaea began to break apart, the Earth's climate underwent significant changes, creating a more arid and extreme environment. These changes caused disruptions in ecosystems, with fluctuating temperatures and seasonal droughts becoming more frequent. The once stable, lush environments gave way to more open landscapes, punctuated by deserts, scrublands, and scattered forests, forcing species to adapt or perish. For early dinosaurs, this harsher environment presented both challenges and opportunities. With fewer dense forests, many dinosaurs adapted to open habitats, becoming more efficient in their movement. Bipedalism, already a feature in many early dinosaur species, allowed them to cover large distances in search of food and water, giving them a competitive edge over other species that were more dependent on stable, localized resources. This new mobility was a key factor in their rapid expansion and diversification. Moreover, the extinction of many dominant reptilian species during the late Triassic opened up new ecological niches. As ecosystems were disrupted by these extinctions, the surviving dinosaurs quickly filled roles that had previously been occupied by other reptiles. Some became herbivores, taking advantage of the widespread ferns and coniferous plants that began to dominate the landscape. Others evolved into carnivores, preying on the abundant, smaller animals that managed to survive the environmental upheavals. A combination of volcanic activity and shifting sea levels also played a role. The volcanic eruptions associated with Pangaea's breakup released vast amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, contributing to global warming. This, in turn, may have spurred the evolution of more efficient respiratory systems in dinosaurs, allowing them to thrive in hotter, drier conditions where other species struggled. This environmental volatility essentially acted as a pressure cooker for evolution, forcing rapid changes in body size, diet, and behavior that allowed dinosaurs to dominate their respective ecosystems. The convergence of these environmental factors, the breakup of Pangaea, shifting climates, volcanic activity, and mass extinctions, created the perfect storm for dinosaur evolution. Early dinosaurs were able to exploit these shifts to diversify rapidly, laying the foundation for their dominance over the next 160 million years. How did the immense bite force of T. rex allow it to hunt and consume even the largest prey animals of its time? The bite force of Tyrannosaurus rex is one of the most extraordinary features that made it such a fearsome predator. With a bite force estimated to reach around 12,000 pounds per square inch, stronger than that of any living animal today, T-Rex was capable of crushing bones and tearing through the flesh of even the largest prey animals of its time. This immense power was a key factor that allowed T-Rex to dominate its ecosystem as a top predator. The evolutionary advantage of such a powerful bite lay in the structure of T-Rex's skull and jaws. Its robust skull was supported by thick, muscular necks that worked in tandem with its massive jaw muscles, generating the extraordinary force needed to crush bones with ease. Unlike other large theropods that relied on slicing teeth and fast, ambush-style attacks, T-Rex had teeth designed for a more brutal method of killing: crushing. Each of its teeth could grow up to 30 centimeters long, serrated like steak knives, ideal for puncturing and breaking apart the bones of its prey. This crushing power not only incapacitated large herbivores like Triceratops and Edmontosaurus, but also allowed T-Rex to consume parts of the carcass that other predators might leave behind, such as marrow-rich bones. The bite of T-Rex was not just about brute strength, it was also highly efficient in its energy use. By crushing bones and accessing marrow, T-Rex could extract more nutrients from its kills than predators that relied solely on muscle meat. This advantage meant that T-Rex could survive longer between kills, gaining more sustenance from each hunt. It also allowed T-Rex to scavenge effectively, as it could crush and consume bones left behind by other carnivores, turning otherwise inedible parts into a food source. Another evolutionary advantage of the T-Rex's bite was its role in taking down large, powerful prey. Herbivores like Triceratops and Ankylosaurus were heavily defended, often protected by thick hides, horns, and armor. T-Rex's immense bite force allowed it to pierce through these defenses, delivering fatal injuries even through the toughest parts of its prey. Unlike smaller predators that might have struggled with heavily armored dinosaurs, T-Rex could rely on its crushing jaws to break down these defenses and reach vital organs, quickly incapacitating even the largest herbivores. The sheer power of the T-Rex bite also influenced its hunting strategy. While some predators relied on pack hunting or ambush tactics, T-Rex likely used its strength to overpower prey in more direct confrontations. A single bite from its powerful jaws could be enough to deliver a death blow, especially when targeting critical areas like the neck or spine. This ability to inflict catastrophic damage with one bite made T-Rex an exceptionally lethal predator, and its bite force remains one of the most defining traits of its success as a hunter. What new evidence suggests that T-Rex may have also been a scavenger, feeding on the remains of other predators' kills? While T-Rex is often depicted as a ruthless apex predator, recent evidence has led some paleontologists to suggest that it may have also been a scavenger, at least part of the time. The idea that T-Rex scavenged on the kills of other predators is supported by several key pieces of fossil evidence, which point to behaviors more commonly associated with opportunistic feeders than pure hunters. One of the main pieces of evidence comes from tooth marks found on fossilized bones. Paleontologists have discovered bones with deep puncture marks and gouges that match the bite pattern of T-Rex. These marks are often found on bones of large herbivores such as Triceratops that appear to have been scavenged after death. In some cases, these marks are located in parts of the skeleton that would be difficult to access during an active hunt, such as deep within the rib cage or on bones that would have been exposed after a carcass had been partially consumed. These findings suggest that T-Rex may have been feeding on the remains of animals already killed by other predators, or that had died from natural causes. Another piece of evidence comes from the structure of T-Rex's teeth. T-Rex had thick, robust teeth designed for crushing bone rather than the more blade-like teeth of other theropods that were suited for slicing through flesh. This adaptation suggests that T-Rex may have been well equipped to break apart bones and scavenge marrow, a food source often left behind by other predators. Scavenging would have allowed T-Rex to access the valuable nutrients within a carcass, even when other animals had already stripped the flesh from the bones. Moreover, T-Rex's large size and keen sense of smell likely gave it an edge when it came to locating carrion. Paleontologists believe that T-Rex had an exceptionally well-developed olfactory bulb, the part of the brain responsible for processing smells. This heightened sense of smell would have allowed it to detect the scent of dead or dying animals from long distances, much like modern vultures or hyenas. In a vast landscape like the late Cretaceous, where food could be scarce at times, scavenging would have provided a reliable way for T-Rex to find food without expending the energy required for hunting. There's also evidence that T-Rex's sheer size might have made it difficult for other predators to challenge it when scavenging. Even if another carnivore made the initial kill, T-Rex, with its massive frame and powerful jaws, could have easily intimidated smaller predators and taken over their kill. This behavior is observed in modern ecosystems, where large scavengers like lions or hyenas often steal kills from smaller animals. While T-Rex was undoubtedly a capable predator, the fossil evidence suggesting scavenging behavior adds a new dimension to our understanding of its role in the ecosystem. Far from being a pure hunter, T-Rex may have been an opportunistic feeder, willing to scavenge when the opportunity presented itself, ensuring it made the most of every available food source in its environment. How did the Jurassic climate and vegetation shifts fuel the growth of massive plant-eating dinosaurs and, in turn, their predators? During the Jurassic period, the climate experienced a notable shift towards warmer, more humid conditions, fostering the growth of lush, dense vegetation across the land. This climate change was particularly beneficial to the plant life that massive herbivorous dinosaurs depended on. Ferns, cycads, and conifers flourished in the Jurassic's tropical and subtropical climates, creating vast food sources that allowed herbivores, like the colossal sauropods, such as Brachiosaurus and Apatosaurus, to thrive. With abundant vegetation to support their energy needs, these plant eaters could grow to unprecedented sizes, towering over the landscape and becoming the largest animals to ever walk the earth. The warm climate and steady rainfall also led to extended growing seasons, ensuring that food was available year-round. Sauropods, with their long necks and massive bodies, were particularly well adapted to take advantage of this environment. Their enormous size was fueled by the abundance of low-nutrition plant matter, and their long necks allowed them to reach high into trees to access food that smaller herbivores couldn't. Their ability to process large amounts of tough plant material with their peg-like teeth and gizzards allowed them to grow continuously, unchecked by the usual limitations of food scarcity. This explosion of herbivorous giants, however, didn't just benefit the plant eaters, it also spurred an arms race with the predators that hunted them. As herbivores grew larger, carnivorous dinosaurs needed to evolve new strategies and physical adaptations to take down such massive prey. Theropods like Allosaurus, for instance, became apex predators during this time, evolving strong jaws and sharp teeth capable of tearing through the thick flesh of sauropods. Their growth, in turn, was fueled by the sheer volume of food available in the form of massive herbivores, creating a self-sustaining cycle of predator and prey growth. The sheer size of Jurassic herbivores also led to the evolution of pack hunting behaviors in some predators, as individual carnivores would struggle to bring down such enormous creatures alone. This dynamic, fueled by the abundance of vegetation and the massive size of herbivores, created a complex web of interactions between predators and prey that would define the Jurassic ecosystem. As the herbivores grew larger and more diverse, so did the predators that stalked them, each adapting in response to the other's evolutionary advances. How did marine reptiles like mosasaurs evolve to become the apex predators of the prehistoric oceans? Mosasaurs, the formidable marine reptiles that dominated the prehistoric oceans during the late Cretaceous period, evolved into apex predators through a series of key adaptations that allowed them to thrive in a highly competitive aquatic environment. Unlike their dinosaurian counterparts on land, mosasaurs faced a different set of evolutionary pressures, including navigating vast open waters, hunting fast-moving prey, and competing with other marine predators like sharks and plesiosaurs. One of the most critical adaptations that allowed mosasaurs to rise to the top of the food chain was their streamlined, hydrodynamic body. Evolving from land-dwelling reptiles, early mosasaurs gradually lost their limbs and evolved flippers and powerful tails, making them highly efficient swimmers. Their elongated bodies, combined with muscular tails that moved in a side-to-side motion, enabled them to swim with speed and agility, allowing them to chase down prey and outmaneuver other predators. This swimming ability gave them a clear advantage in the open ocean, where both speed and endurance were necessary to survive. Mosasaurs also developed specialized hunting tools in the form of their skulls and teeth. Their jaws were lined with conical, backward-curving teeth, perfect for grasping slippery prey like fish, squid, and other marine reptiles. What set mosasaurs apart was their double-hinged jaw, similar to that of modern snakes. This adaptation allowed them to open their mouths exceptionally wide, enabling them to swallow large prey whole. Their sharp, serrated teeth ensured that once a prey animal was caught, it had little chance of escape. This predatory advantage made mosasaurs highly versatile hunters, capable of taking down a wide variety of marine life. Additionally, mosasaurs developed a keen sense of sight and possibly even pressure-sensitive snouts to detect vibrations in the water, which would have been invaluable for hunting in the dimly lit depths of the ocean. With these sensory adaptations, they could track prey over long distances or ambush them in murky waters where visibility was limited. This heightened sensory perception allowed them to be more effective hunters, giving them the edge over other marine predators that relied on sight alone. The sheer size of mosasaurs also contributed to their dominance. Some species, such as Mosasaurus hoffmanii, grew up to 17 meters in length, making them one of the largest marine predators of their time. Their massive size, combined with their predatory adaptations, positioned them as the undisputed rulers of the Cretaceous seas. Their ability to feed on a wide range of prey, from smaller fish to large marine reptiles, ensured that mosasaurs maintained their status at the top of the marine food chain until the mass extinction at the end of the Cretaceous. Ultimately, mosasaurs evolved into apex predators through a combination of powerful swimming capabilities, specialized hunting adaptations, and sheer size. These evolutionary traits allowed them to dominate the prehistoric oceans, making them one of the most fearsome predators of their era. What evolutionary pressures drove the emergence of flying predators like pterosaurs, and how did they interact with their terrestrial counterparts? The emergence of pterosaurs, the first vertebrates to evolve powered flight, was driven by a combination of evolutionary pressures that shaped their unique adaptations to the skies. These flying reptiles, which appeared in the late Triassic and flourished throughout the Mesozoic era, took advantage of ecological niches that were inaccessible to terrestrial animals, giving them distinct evolutionary advantages in both hunting and survival. One of the primary evolutionary pressures that led to the rise of pterosaurs was the need to exploit aerial habitats. By developing flight, pterosaurs could access food sources that other predators couldn't reach, such as insects, fish near the surface of the water, or small terrestrial animals from an aerial vantage point. With no competition in the skies during the early stages of their evolution, pterosaurs had virtually no rivals in their environment, allowing them to diversify and expand into a wide variety of ecological niches. Their ability to fly also gave them access to a new method of escape from predators on land, providing a significant survival advantage. Pterosaurs evolved several key adaptations to become efficient flyers. Their wings were formed from a membrane of skin, muscle, and other tissues that stretched from an elongated fourth finger to their hind limbs, allowing them to glide and maneuver with precision. Unlike birds, whose wings are supported by feathers, pterosaurs' lightweight hollow bones reduced their body weight, making powered flight possible. Their large, keeled breastbones supported the powerful flight muscles needed for sustained aerial movement, allowing them to travel great distances in search of food. The development of flight also enabled pterosaurs to exploit marine environments. Many species, like Pteranodon, became adept fishers, using their long, pointed beaks to snatch fish from the water while gliding over oceans and lakes. Some species even had specialized adaptations like pelican-like throat pouches to store fish, allowing them to maximize their hunting efficiency. By accessing both aerial and marine ecosystems, pterosaurs avoided direct competition with terrestrial predators and carved out a unique ecological role. However, pterosaurs did not exist in isolation. They frequently interacted with their terrestrial counterparts, especially the dinosaurs. The relationship between these two groups was likely complex, with pterosaurs acting both as competitors and opportunistic feeders. While they generally avoided direct conflict with larger terrestrial carnivores, pterosaurs may have scavenged the remains of dinosaur kills, much like modern vultures do today. In this way, they played an important role in the ecosystem by cleaning up carcasses and contributing to nutrient cycling. Pterosaurs were also in competition with smaller theropod dinosaurs, especially in areas where both groups hunted similar prey. In some ecosystems, small, fast theropods and large flying pterosaurs likely targeted the same food sources, leading to subtle competition over resources. However, pterosaurs' ability to hunt from the air often gave them the upper hand, as they could spot prey from a distance and swoop down with precision. Ultimately, the evolutionary pressures of food scarcity, competition, and environmental adaptation drove pterosaurs to become highly specialized flying predators. Their ability to thrive in both the skies and marine environments allowed them to coexist with dinosaurs and play a crucial role in the Mesozoic ecosystems. How did Spinosaurus's semi-aquatic lifestyle give it an advantage over other large carnivores in its habitat? Spinosaurus, one of the most unusual and distinctive dinosaurs to have ever lived, gained significant evolutionary advantages from its semi-aquatic lifestyle, setting it apart from other large carnivores of the Cretaceous period. This adaptation to both land and water environments allowed Spinosaurus to exploit a unique ecological niche that other land-bound predators like Tyrannosaurus rex or Giganotosaurus couldn't access, giving it an edge in survival and hunting strategies. One of the most significant advantages of Spinosaurus's semi-aquatic lifestyle was its ability to access food sources that were unavailable to strictly terrestrial predators. Spinosaurus had specialized features that made it an efficient hunter in aquatic environments, most notably its long, narrow snout filled with conical teeth. These teeth were perfectly suited for catching slippery prey like fish, similar to the hunting adaptations of modern crocodiles. In fact, fossil evidence suggests that Spinosaurus primarily fed on large fish, including the massive sawfish-like Onchopristis, which would have been abundant in the rivers and lakes of its habitat. By feeding in aquatic environments, Spinosaurus faced less competition from other large carnivores, which were primarily land hunters. The physical adaptations of Spinosaurus further supported its semi-aquatic lifestyle. Its long, crocodile-like snout allowed it to sense movement in the water, much like modern-day alligators or gharials. Combined with its narrow, sharp teeth, Spinosaurus could effectively snap up fish and other marine prey with precision. Additionally, Spinosaurus had elongated neural spines that supported a sail-like structure on its back. Though the exact function of this sail is debated, it may have helped with thermoregulation or even assisted with stability while swimming. Another adaptation that gave Spinosaurus an advantage in water was its powerful paddle-like tail. Recent fossil discoveries have revealed that Spinosaurus had a tail shaped like an oar, which was likely used to propel itself through the water, much like modern aquatic animals. This tail, combined with its large, webbed feet, indicates that Spinosaurus was not only capable of swimming, but was highly adapted to it. This gave Spinosaurus the ability to move efficiently in aquatic environments, where it could hunt prey with little competition from other predators. Living a semi-aquatic lifestyle also provided Spinosaurus with flexibility. While most large theropods were restricted to hunting on land, Spinosaurus could thrive in both terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems. It could scavenge on land or hunt fish in rivers and lakes, giving it a diverse diet that would have helped it survive in fluctuating environmental conditions. This ability to exploit two different habitats would have been especially beneficial in times of scarcity when land-based prey might have been harder to find. Spinosaurus's semi-aquatic lifestyle gave it a significant evolutionary advantage by allowing it to dominate a unique niche with little direct competition from other large carnivores. Its specialized adaptations made it one of the most successful predators of its time, capable of thriving both in water and on land. What does the structure of Spinosaurus's sail-like spine reveal about its behavior, from thermoregulation to hunting techniques? The iconic sail-like structure of Spinosaurus, formed by elongated neural spines along its back, has long been a subject of fascination and debate among paleontologists. This unique feature, which sets Spinosaurus apart from all other large theropods, provides critical insights into the behavior of this extraordinary dinosaur, revealing potential functions that range from thermoregulation to hunting strategies. One of the primary hypotheses regarding the sail is that it played a role in thermoregulation. The large surface area of the sail could have been used to absorb or dissipate heat, much like the ears of modern elephants. In the hot, arid environments of North Africa where Spinosaurus lived, maintaining an optimal body temperature would have been crucial for survival. By angling its sail towards the sun, Spinosaurus could have absorbed heat in the morning to warm up after cool nights, allowing it to become active more quickly than other predators. Conversely, the sail might have been used to release excess heat, particularly after strenuous activity like swimming or hunting, by facing it into the wind or seeking shade. This thermoregulatory function would have provided Spinosaurus with a crucial advantage in the extreme climates it inhabited, allowing it to remain active and efficient in both water and on land. The sail may have also served as a visual display for communication, either for attracting mates or intimidating rivals. In this context, the sail could have been a signal of strength or health, with larger or more vividly colored sails indicating a stronger or more dominant individual. This would be similar to how modern animals like peacocks use large, elaborate structures to attract mates, or how deer display their antlers in territorial disputes. Spinosaurus, with its massive size and distinctive sail, could have used it to communicate with others of its species without the need for physical confrontation, particularly when competing for resources or mates. Another possible function of the sail is related to Spinosaurus's hunting techniques. Given its semi-aquatic lifestyle, the sail could have helped the dinosaur navigate aquatic environments, acting as a stabilizer while swimming. The sail's structure might have provided balance as Spinosaurus moved through water, helping it stay upright as it hunted fish and other marine prey. Its large paddle-like tail already suggests strong swimming capabilities, and the sail may have enhanced this by providing additional stability during swift movements in pursuit of prey. In this way, the sail could have been a key part of its predatory arsenal, making Spinosaurus even more effective in the water. There is also the possibility that the sail had a role in energy storage, functioning similarly to the humps of camels, which store fat for use during times of food scarcity. This would be a more speculative hypothesis, but if Spinosaurus used the sail for storing energy, it would have allowed the dinosaur to survive periods when prey was scarce, particularly in the dry seasons of its North African habitat. The sail-like spine of Spinosaurus likely served multiple functions, from thermoregulation to visual communication and hunting. This unique structure reveals much about the lifestyle and survival strategies of Spinosaurus, showcasing how its unusual adaptations allowed it to thrive as both an apex predator and a versatile survivor in its semi-aquatic world. What allowed Giganotosaurus to evolve to such enormous size, surpassing even T-Rex in length, and how did this affect its hunting methods? Giganotosaurus, one of the largest predatory dinosaurs, evolved to immense size, surpassing even Tyrannosaurus rex in length. This evolutionary leap can be attributed to a combination of environmental factors, prey availability, and biological adaptations that shaped its development into a colossal predator. One key factor behind the enormous size of Giganotosaurus was the abundance of large herbivorous dinosaurs, particularly sauropods, in its environment. Giganotosaurus lived in what is now South America during the late Cretaceous, a time when vast herds of giant sauropods, like Argentinosaurus, roamed the land. These herbivores, some of the largest creatures to have ever lived, provided a steady source of food. To hunt such massive prey, Giganotosaurus evolved to become larger and more powerful, allowing it to overpower these behemoths, which smaller predators could not tackle. Additionally, Giganotosaurus had several physical adaptations that facilitated its massive growth. Its lightweight, hollow bones helped reduce the overall weight of its body without sacrificing strength, enabling it to move efficiently despite its size. Its skull, though large, was designed for speed and force, with strong jaw muscles and sharp blade-like teeth that could slash through flesh, making it well-equipped to deal with the immense sauropods it hunted. The ability to grow to such a size meant that Giganotosaurus could take down prey others couldn't, positioning it at the top of the food chain in its ecosystem. The sheer size of Giganotosaurus also influenced its hunting methods. Unlike smaller theropods that relied on agility and pack hunting, Giganotosaurus likely used its size to dominate and subdue its prey with brute force. Its long limbs and muscular build suggest that it was capable of running at relatively high speeds for its size, allowing it to chase down slower, massive herbivores. Fossil evidence suggests that Giganotosaurus, like other large theropods, may have used ambush tactics, stalking prey from cover and delivering powerful, slashing bites to incapacitate them quickly. Interestingly, its large size may have also affected its social behavior. While there is no definitive evidence of pack hunting, some paleontologists speculate that Giganotosaurus may have hunted in groups to bring down the largest sauropods more efficiently. If true, this behavior would have given it a strategic advantage over solitary hunters, allowing it to target and subdue the most enormous prey available in its environment. Giganotosaurus's enormous size was not just a result of evolutionary chance, but a direct response to its environment and prey. Its adaptations allowed it to become one of the largest and most formidable predators of its time, shaping its role as an apex predator in a world dominated by gigantic herbivores. Why did Giganotosaurus prefer hunting large sauropods, and what specialized adaptations helped it take down these massive herbivores? Giganotosaurus, as one of the largest carnivores of the late Cretaceous, primarily targeted massive sauropods like Argentinosaurus, preferring these colossal herbivores due to their sheer abundance and size, which provided an enormous and sustained food source. The evolutionary relationship between predator and prey is often shaped by opportunity and necessity, and for Giganotosaurus, sauropods were the most logical choice. Sauropods, with their massive bodies and slow movement, would have been ideal prey for such a large predator. While other smaller herbivores might have been quicker and harder to catch, sauropods were too large to hide or evade a predator like Giganotosaurus. Their slow, lumbering movements made them easier to track and attack, providing Giganotosaurus with an efficient way to secure enough food to sustain its large body. To bring down these giant herbivores, Giganotosaurus evolved several specialized adaptations. One of its key adaptations was its skull, which was exceptionally large and elongated, packed with serrated blade-like teeth. These teeth were designed not to crush bone like those of T-Rex, but to slash through flesh. This slashing strategy was particularly effective for attacking the massive, muscle-bound bodies of sauropods, enabling Giganotosaurus to inflict deep, debilitating wounds. Once injured, even a giant sauropod would struggle to survive, and the predator could wait for its weakened prey to collapse. Giganotosaurus also had powerful, muscular legs that allowed it to pursue its prey across open plains. While not as fast as smaller theropods, it could still reach speeds that were sufficient to keep up with the slow-moving sauropods. Its size and speed combination would have made it difficult for even the largest herbivores to escape, especially if Giganotosaurus used ambush tactics to catch them off guard. Moreover, Giganotosaurus's arms, although not as large as its legs, were more functional than those of other large theropods, such as T-Rex. These relatively robust arms may have been used to grasp or claw at its prey, helping to stabilize it during an attack or tear into the flesh of downed sauropods. This additional tool in its predatory arsenal gave Giganotosaurus an edge when hunting prey that outweighed it by several tons. In addition to its physical prowess, Giganotosaurus may have benefited from cooperative hunting strategies. Some paleontologists speculate that Giganotosaurus, like modern wolves or lions, may have hunted in groups to better manage the enormous size of its prey. If this were the case, coordinated attacks by multiple Giganotosaurus individuals could have overwhelmed even the largest sauropods, bringing them down through teamwork and persistence. Giganotosaurus's preference for hunting sauropods was driven by the opportunity to exploit these massive, slow-moving herbivores. Its specialized adaptations, sharp teeth, powerful legs, functional arms, and possibly cooperative behavior made it a highly effective predator, perfectly suited for taking down some of them. How did velociraptors use their intelligence and pack hunting tactics to bring down much larger prey? Velociraptors, though relatively small in size compared to many other carnivorous dinosaurs, were formidable predators due to their intelligence and ability to hunt in coordinated packs. These two factors combined to give them a significant advantage when hunting larger prey, allowing them to take down animals many times their size. One of the most compelling aspects of velociraptor behavior is the suggestion of pack hunting, a strategy that requires a high degree of coordination and intelligence. While direct fossil evidence of pack hunting is scarce, modern comparisons to pack hunting predators like wolves or lions suggest that velociraptors may have used similar tactics. Hunting in groups would have allowed them to corner or overwhelm larger herbivores, such as Protoceratops, which would have been difficult for a single velociraptor to tackle alone. By coordinating their movements and attacking from multiple angles, they could isolate an individual from a herd or target weak or young members of a group. Their relatively large brains in comparison to their body size suggest that velociraptors were among the more intelligent dinosaurs. This intelligence likely played a crucial role in their ability to coordinate during hunts, communicate with one another, and strategize to outmaneuver larger prey. They may have used ambush tactics, hiding in the dense undergrowth or using the landscape to their advantage, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Their agility and speed allowed them to move quickly and attack their prey's vulnerable areas, such as the throat or underbelly, where they could inflict maximum damage with minimal risk to themselves. Velociraptors were also equipped with a deadly weapon, their retractable, sickle-shaped claws on each foot. These claws were used to latch onto prey, allowing them to maintain grip while delivering swift, precise slashes. These claws were likely vital in a group hunting scenario, where each raptor could use its claws to wound the prey, weakening it over time. By working together, velociraptors could deliver fatal blows without exposing themselves to the dangers of a direct confrontation with a much larger animal. Additionally, the pack could take turns in wearing down their prey, using a strategy of persistence hunting where they relentlessly pursued and harassed their target until it was too exhausted to defend itself. Once the prey was weakened, the velociraptors would close in for the kill, using their teeth and claws to finish the job. Their lightweight, flexible bodies allowed them to move with precision and avoid the more dangerous defensive mechanisms of larger herbivores, such as the horns or tails of animals like Protoceratops. The combination of pack hunting and intelligence made velociraptors highly effective predators, able to bring down prey much larger than themselves. Their ability to coordinate attacks, use strategy, and exploit their physical advantages meant that, despite their small size, they were apex predators within their ecological niche. What new fossil evidence suggests that velociraptors had feathers, and how might this have impacted their hunting abilities? Recent fossil discoveries have provided compelling evidence that velociraptors, once thought to be covered in reptilian scales, actually had feathers. This revelation has changed the way scientists understand not only the appearance of these iconic predators, but also their behavior and hunting techniques. The primary evidence for velociraptor feathers comes from quill knobs found on the forearms of a well-preserved velociraptor fossil. Quill knobs are small bumps on the bone where the quills of feathers would have been attached, similar to the structures seen in modern birds. These quill knobs strongly suggest that velociraptors had feathers, particularly on their arms. This discovery aligns with what paleontologists know about other dromaeosaurids. the family to which velociraptors belong, many of which are also believed to have had feathers. Feathers likely served multiple purposes for velociraptors, impacting their hunting abilities in several ways. First and foremost, feathers may have provided an advantage in terms of balance and agility. During a high-speed chase or while making sharp turns to outmaneuver prey, feathers on the arms and tail could have acted like stabilizers, similar to how birds use their tail feathers for balance. This would have allowed velociraptors to be more nimble and precise during hunts, particularly when chasing down fast-moving or evasive prey. Feathers might have also played a role in hunting tactics that involved ambush or stealth. While it's unlikely that velociraptors could fly, they may have used their feathers to silently approach prey or to help conceal themselves. Feathers can help break up the outline of a predator, making it less visible in dense vegetation. This could have allowed velociraptors to get closer to their prey without being detected, increasing the likelihood of a successful ambush. In addition to aiding in balance and stealth, feathers could have been used for display purposes. Similar to how modern birds use their plumage for courtship or intimidation, velociraptors might have used their feathers to signal to other members of their pack or to communicate during coordinated hunting efforts. Brightly colored feathers could have been used to assert dominance, attract mates, or even scare off rivals. Another advantage feathers might have provided is insulation. While velociraptors lived in relatively warm climates, feathers would have helped regulate body temperature, keeping them warm during cooler nights or seasonal changes. This thermal regulation would have enabled velociraptors to be active hunters in a wider range of conditions, extending their hunting hours into early mornings or evenings when prey might be more vulnerable. The discovery of feathers on velociraptors adds new layers to our understanding of their behavior and hunting strategies. Feathers would have enhanced their agility, stealth, and communication, making them even more effective predators than previously thought. This evidence reshapes the image of velociraptors from scaly reptiles to dynamic, feathered hunters, blending bird-like characteristics with their fearsome predatory nature. How did Allosaurus's unique jaw and neck structure allow it to tear into prey in a way that differed from other large predators? Allosaurus, a dominant predator of the late Jurassic period, had a unique jaw and neck structure that set it apart from other large carnivores, giving it distinct advantages in hunting and feeding. These physical adaptations enabled Allosaurus to attack its prey in a way that was particularly brutal and efficient, using methods that differed from the crushing bites of later theropods like Tyrannosaurus rex. One of the most striking aspects of Allosaurus's jaw was its flexibility. Unlike many other theropods, Allosaurus had a hinged lower jaw that allowed for a wide gape. This allowed it to open its mouth to an almost extreme degree, giving it the ability to latch onto prey with a large bite area. Its upper jaw also had a degree of mobility, meaning that when Allosaurus bit down on prey, its skull could flex slightly to absorb the shock, preventing damage to its own bones while delivering a powerful bite. This adaptability allowed Allosaurus to grip large portions of its prey's flesh or bone, making its attacks more devastating. In addition to the flexibility of its jaws, Allosaurus had unusually short but robust teeth compared to other large predators. These teeth were not designed to crush bone like the thick teeth of T-Rex, but rather to slash and tear through flesh. Each tooth was serrated like a steak knife, perfect for cutting into muscle and skin. The shorter teeth, combined with the strength of its jaws, meant that Allosaurus could make deep, slicing wounds rather than focusing on crushing its prey's bones. What truly set Allosaurus apart, however, was its neck structure and hunting strategy. Paleontologists have noted that the neck of Allosaurus was heavily muscled and quite strong, allowing it to use a method of attack often compared to that of modern-day falcons or big cats. Allosaurus likely employed a hatchet style of attack, where it would open its jaws wide, then use its neck muscles to swing its head down forcefully onto the prey, delivering a slashing blow with its sharp teeth. This technique allowed Allosaurus to make repeated, powerful attacks, tearing into the prey with each strike without the need for a bone-crushing bite. This method was particularly effective when hunting large, slow-moving herbivores like Stegosaurus or Camarasaurus. where repeated strikes would weaken and eventually kill the prey. The design of its skull also suggests that Allosaurus had a stronger bite at the front of its mouth than at the rear, which is unusual for large theropods. This front-focused bite force would have helped it rip and tear flesh in combination with its flexible jaws. In contrast to predators that relied on brute force to overpower their prey, Allosaurus employed a more methodical, precise approach, making it a versatile and fearsome hunter in its ecosystem. These adaptations, flexible jaws, serrated teeth, and a powerful neck, gave Allosaurus a specialized predatory edge that differed from other large carnivores. Its ability to deliver repeated slashing attacks allowed it to tear into prey efficiently, playing a key role in maintaining its status as one of the top predators of the Jurassic period. What role did Allosaurus play in regulating the herbivore populations of the Jurassic, and how did this maintain ecological balance? As one of the apex predators of the late Jurassic, Allosaurus played a critical role in regulating the herbivore populations within its ecosystem, helping to maintain a delicate ecological balance. By preying on large herbivorous dinosaurs, Allosaurus helped control the population sizes of these plant eaters, preventing them from overgrazing and depleting the vegetation that sustained the entire ecosystem. The Jurassic period was a time of giant herbivores, including iconic species like Stegosaurus, Diplodocus, and Camarasaurus. These massive creatures consumed enormous amounts of plant material daily, and without predatory regulation, their numbers could have easily grown out of control, leading to overgrazing and the potential collapse of local ecosystems. By preying on these large herbivores, Allosaurus acted as a natural population control agent, keeping herbivore numbers in check and ensuring that the plant life could regenerate and continue to support a diverse range of species. Allosaurus hunting behavior likely had a targeted effect on certain types of herbivores. Fossil evidence, including bite marks and healed wounds found on Stegosaurus and Camarasaurus skeletons, suggests that Allosaurus regularly targeted these slow-moving herbivores. Stegosaurus, with its bony plates and spiked tail, was a challenging but rewarding target. Camarasaurus, a massive sauropod, would have provided a substantial meal but was vulnerable to coordinated attacks, possibly by groups of Allosaurus hunting together. By focusing on these larger herbivores, Allosaurus indirectly shaped the plant ecosystems as well. Fewer large herbivores meant less intense grazing pressure on the plant life, allowing for a more sustainable plant-animal dynamic. In maintaining this balance, Allosaurus indirectly influenced the entire food web. By regulating herbivore populations, it helped prevent overconsumption of the environment's primary producers, plants. This ensured that smaller herbivores, which ate different types of vegetation, also had access to food, supporting a greater variety of species within the ecosystem. Moreover, by preying on weakened or old herbivores, Allosaurus contributed to the health of the herbivore populations, as it helped remove individuals that were less fit and left more resources for healthier, younger members of the population. This type of selective pressure would have been crucial in driving the evolution and adaptation of both predators and prey. Allosaurus didn't only contribute to the health of herbivore populations, it also supported other carnivores and scavengers in the ecosystem. Its kills provided food for smaller theropods, opportunistic scavengers, and possibly even hatchlings or young Allosaurus, who may have learned hunting techniques from adult members of their species. This sharing of resources helped maintain the balance within the predator community, reducing direct competition for food. Allosaurus played a vital role in maintaining the ecological equilibrium of the Jurassic period. By keeping herbivore populations in check, it helped ensure the survival of both the plant life and a diverse range of other species, reinforcing its status as a keystone predator within its environment. Its predatory role was essential in sustaining the health and balance of the entire Jurassic ecosystem. How did Carcharodontosaurus's serrated teeth make it one of the deadliest predators, capable of slicing through flesh with ease? Carcharodontosaurus, often regarded as one of the most formidable predators of the Cretaceous period, earned its fearsome reputation largely due to its specialized teeth. The name Carcharodontosaurus itself means shark-toothed lizard, referencing the shark-like serrated edges of its teeth that made it highly effective at slicing through flesh. These adaptations gave the predator a lethal advantage in hunting large prey and made it one of the deadliest carnivores of its time. The serrated teeth of Carcharodontosaurus were perfectly engineered for cutting. Each tooth had saw-like edges, similar to the teeth of modern sharks, designed to shear through the flesh of its prey with minimal resistance. These serrations allowed Carcharodontosaurus to deliver deep, slashing bites that tore through muscle and tissue rather than crushing bone. Unlike other theropods, such as Tyrannosaurus rex, which had thicker, bone-crushing teeth, Carcharodontosaurus was adapted to slice and shred, allowing it to quickly weaken its prey through blood loss and muscle damage. The slicing ability was crucial for taking down large herbivores like sauropods and hadrosaurs, which would have been too big to overpower with brute force alone. Additionally, Carcharodontosaurus had an exceptionally large head and jaw, which magnified the effectiveness of its teeth. Its jaw could generate enough power to deliver devastating bites that would leave gaping wounds, allowing the predator to deliver multiple rapid slashes without needing to wrestle with its prey. This strategy of inflicting several wounds in quick succession meant that prey would weaken from blood loss and shock, making them easier to subdue over time. The deep cuts from the serrated teeth would likely have led to significant blood loss, causing prey to collapse from exhaustion before the predator even needed to go in for the kill. Carcharodontosaurus's teeth were also designed for longevity and efficiency. As its teeth wore down from repeated use, they would be replaced throughout its life. This constant regeneration of sharp teeth ensured that the predator always had a fresh set of cutting tools ready for the next hunt. This regenerative ability was particularly important in a predator whose hunting technique relied so heavily on the effectiveness of its teeth. These serrated teeth were not only lethal during active hunting, but also effective in dealing with the carcasses of large prey. After bringing down a massive herbivore, Carcharodontosaurus could use its teeth to slice through thick layers of flesh, muscle, and tendons, allowing it to access the most nutrient-rich parts of the body, such as internal organs, with ease. The ability to process large kills efficiently would have given Carcharodontosaurus a major advantage, allowing it to consume and protect its kills from scavengers before the meat could spoil. In essence, Carcharodontosaurus's serrated teeth were a key evolutionary tool that made it one of the deadliest predators in the prehistoric world. These teeth allowed it to employ a cutting-based hunting technique, giving it the ability to dispatch massive prey and ensuring its place at the top of the Cretaceous food chain. What role did Carcharodontosaurus play in its ecosystem, and how did it compete with other large predators like Spinosaurus? Carcharodontosaurus was one of the apex predators of the Cretaceous period, ruling over the ecosystems of North Africa with its deadly hunting prowess. Its role in the ecosystem was shaped by the rich diversity of both prey and competition, particularly from other large predators like Spinosaurus. The interactions between these giants of the Cretaceous likely influenced the balance of power within their environment, with each predator exploiting different ecological niches to minimize direct conflict. As a terrestrial apex predator, Carcharodontosaurus primarily hunted large herbivores that roamed the landscape, such as sauropods and hadrosaurs. Its massive size and powerful jaws, combined with its razor-sharp serrated teeth, made it ideally suited for tackling prey that few other predators could manage. By keeping herbivore populations in check, Carcharodontosaurus played a key role in regulating the ecosystem. Without this predatory pressure, herbivores could have overgrazed the vegetation, potentially destabilizing the entire food web. This predation maintained a balance that allowed plant life to regenerate, supporting a stable environment for smaller herbivores and other species. Carcharodontosaurus's competition with other predators, particularly Spinosaurus, likely shaped its hunting strategies and behavior. While both were among the largest predators of their time, they occupied different niches to reduce direct competition. Carcharodontosaurus, with its formidable land-based hunting skills, was the dominant predator on dry land, specializing in large terrestrial herbivores. On the other hand, Spinosaurus was primarily semi-aquatic, hunting fish and aquatic prey in rivers and lakes, thanks to its adaptations for swimming and its crocodile-like snout. The separation of habitats and prey sources likely allowed both predators to coexist within the same regions without engaging in constant competition. Carcharodontosaurus, with its body built for power and agility on land, focused on prey that Spinosaurus would have been less suited to hunt. Its role in the ecosystem was crucial for managing the large herbivore populations that Spinosaurus, being more aquatic, would have largely ignored. Despite this division of resources, there may have been occasional confrontations between Carcharodontosaurus and Spinosaurus, especially in areas where their territories overlapped. If these two predators competed for the same prey or scavenged from the same carcasses, they might have fought over resources. However, given the specialization of each predator, Carcharodontosaurus as a land hunter and Spinosaurus as a water-based predator, such confrontations were probably rare. Instead, both species likely thrived by focusing on different prey, allowing each to dominate their respective domains. In this role, Carcharodontosaurus acted as a keystone species, ensuring the stability of its ecosystem. By hunting the large herbivores and reducing their numbers, it indirectly supported the plant life that formed the foundation of the food chain. Additionally, as with other large carnivores, the carcasses left behind by Carcharodontosaurus provided food for smaller scavengers, ensuring that every level of the ecosystem benefited from its presence. In conclusion, Carcharodontosaurus played a critical role in maintaining the balance of its ecosystem by regulating herbivore populations and competing with other large predators like Spinosaurus. Through its size, strength, and specialization as a terrestrial hunter, it ensured the survival and health of the entire food web in the lush, predator-rich environments of the Cretaceous. What role did Carcharodontosaurus play in its ecosystem, and how did it compete with other large predators like Spinosaurus? Carcharodontosaurus, one of the largest carnivores of the Cretaceous, was a dominant land predator in the ecosystems of North Africa, and it played a crucial role in maintaining ecological balance. Its primary role was as an apex predator targeting large herbivores such as sauropods and hadrosaurs. By preying on these massive plant eaters, Carcharodontosaurus helped regulate their populations, preventing overgrazing, which could have led to habitat degradation. This role of controlling herbivore numbers ensured that the environment remained sustainable, allowing plant life to regenerate and supporting a healthy and diverse ecosystem. As a top predator, Carcharodontosaurus shaped not only the herbivore populations, but also impacted other carnivores in the region. In North Africa, it coexisted with another enormous predator, Spinosaurus. While both were formidable hunters, their competition was limited by their specialized hunting strategies. Spinosaurus, with its semi-aquatic lifestyle, primarily hunted in rivers and lakes, targeting fish and aquatic prey. Its crocodile-like snout and paddle-like tail made it perfectly suited for an aquatic environment, allowing it to dominate the waterways without directly competing with the land-based Carcharodontosaurus. Carcharodontosaurus, on the other hand, was a terrestrial predator, hunting large land-dwelling herbivores. Its powerful legs, robust skull, and serrated teeth were designed for bringing down these giants of the land. While Spinosaurus thrived in water, Carcharodontosaurus ruled the dry landscapes, focusing on prey that Spinosaurus rarely interacted with. This separation of habitats and food sources allowed the two to coexist in the same region, with minimal overlap in their hunting territories. However, occasional confrontations between these titanic predators may have occurred, particularly when scavenging opportunities arose. If a large carcass was left in a transitional area between water and land, both Spinosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus might have vied for access to the kill. In such instances, their sheer size and strength would have been critical in determining which predator claimed the prize. While it's difficult to know how frequently such encounters happened, the specialized adaptations of each species suggest that direct competition was rare, allowing both to thrive in their respective domains. Tyrannosaurus played a vital role in regulating herbivore populations and maintaining the ecological balance of its environment. Its presence at the top of the food chain ensured a healthy, diverse ecosystem, while its specialization as a land-based hunter allowed it to coexist with large aquatic predators like Spinosaurus without direct competition. This division of ecological roles was key to the success of both species in their shared environment. What advantages did Carnotaurus's horns provide during hunting or territorial battles with other predators? Carnotaurus, with its distinct horned skull, was one of the more unusual predatory dinosaurs of the late Cretaceous period. These thick, bull-like horns above its eyes provided several advantages in both hunting and territorial conflicts, making Carnotaurus a formidable presence in its ecosystem. While the horn's precise function is still debated, evidence suggests that they played a critical role in the predator's survival, particularly when it came to confrontations with rivals, and possibly during hunting. The most likely use of Carnotaurus's horns was for head-to-head combat with other members of its species or with rival predators. Much like modern-day animals that use their horns or antlers for dominance displays or territorial battles, Carnotaurus may have used its horns to establish hierarchy within its group or to defend its territory. The shape and positioning of the horns suggest that they could have been used for ramming or pushing against an opponent's skull, similar to how bighorn sheep engage in headbutting contests. These battles, while dangerous, likely allowed Carnotaurus to assert dominance without lethal consequences, as the horns could absorb much of the impact, protecting its skull from serious injury. The horns could also have provided a visual display that signaled strength and intimidation to both rivals and potential mates. In territorial disputes or mating contests, larger or more robust horns may have indicated a stronger, more dominant individual, reducing the need for actual combat by intimidating competitors. This would have been an evolutionary advantage, as Carnotaurus could conserve energy and avoid injury by simply using its imposing appearance to dissuade potential challengers. In addition to their role in territorial or dominance battles, Carnotaurus's horns may have offered some advantages during hunting, though this is less certain. While Carnotaurus primarily relied on its speed and powerful bite to capture prey, its horns may have been used to deliver headbutts or ramming blows to disorient or stun smaller prey animals. These horns, while not the primary weapon in Carnotaurus's predatory toolkit, could have served as secondary tools for subduing prey. For example, during a chase, Carnotaurus could have used its horns to strike a fleeing herbivore from the side, knocking it off balance and making it easier to catch. Additionally, the horns might have offered some protection when Carnotaurus engaged in confrontations with other predators. In a world full of competing theropods, defensive structures like horns could have helped deflect bites or blows aimed at the skull during clashes with rivals. The thick, bony structure around the horns could absorb impacts that might have otherwise injured its skull, giving Carnotaurus an extra layer of defense during predator-on-predator encounters. In summary, the horns of Carnotaurus likely served multiple functions, from dominance displays and territorial battles to potential defensive and offensive roles during predation. These horns, along with Carnotaurus's speed and agility, contributed to its success as a predator and helped establish it as a dominant force in its environment. How did Carnotaurus's lightweight body structure enable it to be one of the fastest large predators, and what did it hunt? Carnotaurus, often described as one of the fastest large theropods, possessed a unique lightweight body structure that allowed it to pursue prey with remarkable speed and agility. Unlike many other large carnivores that relied on brute strength and size, Carnotaurus had evolved a highly specialized body adapted for quick bursts of speed, which helped it become an efficient and successful predator in its ecosystem. One of the key features that made Carnotaurus such a fast predator was its lightweight frame. Despite being a large dinosaur, its bones were hollow and reduced in weight, much like those of modern birds, which allowed it to maintain a powerful but relatively slender body. This adaptation enabled Carnotaurus to move quickly without being burdened by the massive bulk seen in other large theropods like Tyrannosaurus rex or Giganotosaurus. Its legs were long and muscular, designed for covering ground quickly, and its hips were particularly well suited for rapid movement. The long, powerful legs of Carnotaurus acted like springs, enabling it to generate a strong forward thrust with each stride, ideal for running down fast-moving prey. Furthermore, the overall design of Carnotaurus's body was streamlined for speed. It had a narrow torso and an unusually small skull compared to other theropods, which reduced drag and allowed for greater agility during a chase. The creature's long tail, which was stiffened by elongated vertebrae, functioned as a counterbalance, helping Carnotaurus maintain stability and maneuverability at high speeds. This tail structure, combined with its lightweight frame, gave Carnotaurus a distinct advantage in chasing down prey across open landscapes. Given its speed and agility, Carnotaurus likely targeted fast-moving herbivores. Fossil evidence suggests that it lived in relatively open, arid environments, where prey animals such as ornithopods, small sauropods, and perhaps juvenile titanosaurs roamed. These herbivores would have been swift and capable of fleeing predators quickly, but Carnotaurus, with its speed-focused design, could outpace them in a straight-line chase. Its sharp, serrated teeth and powerful jaws were well suited for inflicting fatal wounds once it caught up with its prey. Unlike bulkier predators, which relied on ambush tactics or brute force to overpower their targets, Carnotaurus's strategy likely involved sprinting to close the distance between it and its prey, making it a deadly pursuit predator. Additionally, Carnotaurus may have used its speed to exploit opportunities for ambush or to scavenge kills from other predators. Its agility would have allowed it to reach carcasses quickly, beating other predators or scavengers to the prize, or to close in on prey that had been wounded or isolated. In this way, Carnotaurus likely played a dual role as both a hunter and a scavenger, maximizing its chances of survival by being faster and more mobile than its competitors. Carnotaurus's lightweight, aerodynamic body structure made it one of the fastest large predators of the Cretaceous. This speed gave it a distinct edge in hunting fast-moving prey, allowing it to thrive in open environments where agility and quick pursuit were key to survival. How did Utahraptor's massive sickle-shaped claws make it a deadly hunter, capable of disemboweling its prey in one swift strike? Utahraptor, the largest of the dromaeosaurids, is renowned for its formidable sickle-shaped claws, which were the key to its deadly hunting technique. These massive, curved claws, located on the second toe of each foot, were among its most effective weapons, enabling Utahraptor to deliver powerful, lethal strikes that could quickly incapacitate or kill its prey. The sickle-shaped claws of Utahraptor were not just large, they were uniquely adapted for inflicting deep, slashing wounds. Each claw was sharply curved, extending to lengths of up to 24 centimeters, about 9.5 inches, and was capable of delivering precision cuts. When hunting, Utahraptor would leap onto its prey, using its strong hind legs to drive these claws into the animal's flesh. The sickle claw was designed to hook into the prey's body, allowing the predator to anchor itself firmly while delivering further attacks or holding its victim in place. This claw wasn't just for piercing, it was also for tearing. With a swift downward motion, Utahraptor could rip through muscle and organs, disemboweling its prey in a single strike. The efficiency of these claws was enhanced by Utahraptor's powerful leg muscles. Its hind limbs were built for strength and agility, enabling it to leap onto larger animals with considerable force. Once the claws were embedded in its prey, Utahraptor's powerful legs could pull back, creating long, deep gashes that would cause severe bleeding and rapid incapacitation. This attack method would have been especially effective on larger herbivores, which could be quickly weakened by such devastating wounds, making it easier for the Utahraptor to finish them off. In addition to their deadly slicing capability, these claws also allowed Utahraptor to adopt a unique hunting style compared to other theropods. Rather than relying on brute force, Utahraptor used its agility and the element of surprise. It likely ambushed its prey, leaping onto its back or side and using its claws to grip and tear. This technique gave Utahraptor an advantage over slower or heavily armored prey, such as iguanodonts or small sauropods. which may have been unable to fend off such rapid, precise attacks. The claws provided Utahraptor with a balance of offensive power and control, allowing it to maintain its grip on struggling prey while delivering further strikes. Beyond their role in active hunting, the claws may have also been used for defense or in territorial battles with other predators. The sight of Utahraptor's large, curved claws alone would have been enough to intimidate rivals, and in close combat, these claws could have inflicted serious injuries on other carnivores competing for the same prey. Utahraptor's massive sickle-shaped claws were its most lethal weapons, designed for precision strikes that could disembowel prey in one swift motion. These claws, combined with the dinosaur's agility and powerful legs, made Utahraptor a highly effective predator, capable of taking down much larger animals with terrifying efficiency. In what ways did Utahraptor differ from its smaller raptor relatives, and how did this change its role as a predator? Utahraptor, the largest known member of the dromaeosaurid family, differed from its smaller raptor relatives like Velociraptor and Deinonychus in several key ways, and these differences significantly impacted its role as a predator. While all dromaeosaurs shared common features such as sickle-shaped claws, agile builds, and likely pack-hunting behaviors, Utahraptor's sheer size set it apart, allowing it to hunt larger prey and employ a different predatory strategy. The most obvious difference between Utahraptor and its smaller relatives was its size. Utahraptor stood over 2 meters tall at the hip and could grow up to 7 meters in length, making it far larger than Velociraptor, which was around the size of a modern turkey. This massive size allowed Utahraptor to target much larger prey than its smaller kin. While Velociraptor likely focused on smaller animals, Utahraptor was capable of taking down herbivores many times its size, including large iguanodonts and possibly juvenile sauropods. Its size and strength enabled it to be more of an apex predator, filling a role that smaller raptors could not. This increased size also changed the way Utahraptor hunted. Smaller raptors like Velociraptor likely relied on their speed and agility to hunt, using quick darting movements to avoid being injured while delivering lethal strikes to their prey. Utahraptor, with its more robust build, likely employed a more direct approach, using its powerful legs and massive sickle claws to bring down larger animals through brute force. Its claws, much larger and stronger than those of smaller raptors, could inflict devastating wounds with a single slash, making Utahraptor a fearsome predator that could overpower prey rather than simply outmaneuver it. Despite its size, Utahraptor likely retained some of the agility and pack-hunting behavior seen in smaller dromaeosaurs. Fossil evidence suggests that pack hunting was a common strategy among raptors, and Utahraptor may have coordinated attacks with others of its kind to bring down even larger prey. In packs, Utahraptor could have overwhelmed herbivores that would have been too dangerous for a solitary predator, using its size and numbers to strategically surround and attack. This cooperative behavior would have made it a highly effective predator, capable of tackling prey that even other large theropods might have avoided. Another difference was Utahraptor's increased strength, which may have impacted its hunting tactics. Smaller raptors relied on agility and precision, but Utahraptor's size and power allowed it to engage in more physical confrontations. Its larger mass meant it could absorb more damage in a fight, making it more suited to taking down heavily defended prey like armored dinosaurs or those with defensive adaptations like horns or spikes. This would have given Utahraptor access to a wider range of prey, broadening its ecological niche. Overall, Utahraptor's size, strength, and potential pack behavior set it apart from its smaller relatives, making it a top predator in its environment. While smaller raptors focused on smaller or mid-sized prey and used stealth and speed, Utahraptor's larger frame allowed it to target larger herbivores and employ more forceful hunting techniques, establishing it as a dominant predator of the early Cretaceous period. How did Deinonychus revolutionize paleontologists' understanding of dinosaur behavior, particularly with regards to pack hunting? The discovery of Deinonychus in the 1960s marked a turning point in paleontology, fundamentally changing how scientists viewed dinosaur behavior, particularly in terms of their social dynamics and hunting strategies. Before Deinonychus, dinosaurs were often depicted as slow, lumbering reptiles. However, the fossil evidence from this species suggested a far more dynamic and complex predator, one that may have hunted in packs and displayed levels of social behavior previously thought impossible for dinosaurs. Deinonychus, a dromaeosaurid like Velociraptor, was small, fast, and highly agile. What set it apart in the field of paleontology was its sickle-shaped claw, sharp teeth, and evidence of a more active, intelligent predator than what had been imagined. The discovery of multiple Deinonychus individuals near the remains of larger herbivores, such as Tyrannosaurus, suggested that these dinosaurs may have hunted in groups. This evidence of pack hunting revolutionized the way paleontologists understood dinosaur behavior, presenting a vision of dinosaurs as cooperative, social hunters rather than solitary predators. Prior to the discovery of Deinonychus, most dinosaurs were considered cold-blooded and reptilian in their behavior, much like modern-day crocodiles or lizards, which are generally solitary hunters. However, the agile, bird-like features of Deinonychus combined with the evidence of group dynamics indicated that dinosaurs might have been much more active and socially complex. The idea of pack hunting in dinosaurs was groundbreaking because it implied a level of intelligence and social structure that had not been associated with dinosaurs before. This insight suggested that some dinosaurs might have used teamwork and coordination to hunt, which would have given them an advantage over larger prey or more formidable competitors. The discovery of Deinonychus also contributed to the dinosaur renaissance, a period during which scientists began to reevaluate the nature of dinosaurs, suggesting that they were more bird-like than reptilian. Deinonychus's sharp, curved claws, lightweight body, and evidence of fast movement painted a picture of a predatory dinosaur that relied on speed, agility, and intelligence rather than sheer size or brute strength. These traits, along with the possibility of pack hunting, offered a vision of dinosaurs as active, dynamic animals that could work together to take down larger prey, much like modern wolves or lions. The idea of pack hunting also reshaped our understanding of the dinosaur ecosystem. It suggested that some carnivorous dinosaurs may have been capable of hunting prey much larger than themselves by cooperating with others in their group. For example, a group of Deinonychus could have coordinated attacks on a much larger Tyrannosaurus, overwhelming it with numbers and precision strikes. This behavioral insight transformed the way paleontologists viewed predator-prey relationships in the Mesozoic era and challenged previous notions of how dinosaurs interacted with one another and their environment. The discovery of Deinonychus revolutionized paleontology by introducing the concept of pack hunting and suggesting a much more active and intelligent dinosaur than previously thought. Deinonychus's role in reshaping our understanding of dinosaur behavior has had a lasting impact, leading to a new wave of research into the social dynamics and hunting strategies of these prehistoric creatures. What made Deinonychus an agile and efficient killer, capable of attacking prey much larger than itself? Deinonychus, a small yet deadly predator from the early Cretaceous, possessed several unique adaptations that made it an agile and efficient killer, allowing it to hunt prey much larger than itself. The combination of physical traits, particularly its deadly sickle-shaped claws, powerful legs, and high intelligence, contributed to its lethal efficiency as a hunter. These traits worked together to make Deinonychus one of the most fearsome carnivores of its time. One of the primary features that made Deinonychus so effective was its sickle-shaped claw on each foot. These claws were not only sharp and strong, but also retractable, allowing them to remain razor-sharp during movement. When attacking, Deinonychus would leap onto its prey and use these claws to deliver deep, slashing wounds, targeting the soft underbelly or other vulnerable areas. These cuts would have caused massive blood loss, rapidly weakening even large herbivores. Unlike larger predators that relied on crushing force, Deinonychus employed precision, using its claws to inflict damage in key areas, like modern birds of prey. Another crucial adaptation was Deinonychus's powerful hind limbs. These legs were not just strong but also built for speed and agility, allowing the predator to run quickly and make swift acrobatic jumps onto its prey. The positioning of its legs allowed for incredible balance and maneuverability, making it possible for Deinonychus to leap onto larger, slower-moving herbivores and use its weight to knock them off balance or latch onto them. The agility provided by these powerful limbs meant that Deinonychus could not only chase prey over long distances, but also make rapid strikes during a hunt. Additionally, Deinonychus had a relatively large brain for its body size, which suggests it was a highly intelligent predator. This intelligence likely contributed to its advanced hunting tactics, including the possibility of pack hunting. Fossils of multiple Deinonychus individuals found near larger prey, like Tyrannosaurus, suggest that these predators may have worked together to take down prey far larger than themselves. By hunting in packs, Deinonychus could coordinate attacks, overwhelming larger animals with speed and precision that would be impossible for a solitary hunter. Working in a group would have allowed them to strategically surround their prey, attacking from multiple angles and delivering fatal wounds more efficiently. Moreover, Deinonychus had a lightweight yet robust skeletal structure. Its bones were strong but not overly dense, allowing for a lighter body that could move quickly without sacrificing strength. This combination of speed and strength made it a highly mobile predator capable of dodging defensive strikes from prey while closing in for the kill. Its long, stiff tail acted as a counterbalance during high-speed pursuits and sharp turns, helping it maintain balance and agility while attacking or evading. In essence, Deinonychus's agility, coupled with its lethal claws, powerful legs, intelligence, and potential for group hunting, made it a highly efficient predator. These adaptations allowed it to hunt prey much larger than itself, as its strategy was not based on brute strength but on speed, coordination, and the ability to inflict targeted, devastating injuries. This combination of traits made Deinonychus a dominant force in its ecosystem, able to take down prey that seemed far beyond its size capabilities. Why did Therizinosaurus evolve such gigantic claws, and how might it have used them for purposes beyond defense? Therizinosaurus is one of the most unusual and striking dinosaurs, known for its enormous, scythe-like claws, which could reach over 3 feet, 1 meter, in length. These claws, some of the longest of any known dinosaur, evolved not for predation but for other purposes, likely related to its herbivorous lifestyle. Though often associated with defense, the gigantic claws of Therizinosaurus likely served multiple functions beyond simple protection. One of the primary functions of Therizinosaurus's claws was likely foraging and feeding. Therizinosaurus was a herbivore, and its claws would have been incredibly useful for reaching up into trees or pulling down branches, much like the way some modern herbivores use their forelimbs to manipulate vegetation. The claws would have allowed Therizinosaurus to strip leaves from tall trees or gather plants from dense areas, giving it access to a variety of plant foods that other herbivores might not have been able to reach. Their large size suggests they were perfectly suited for grasping and manipulating foliage, similar to how a sloth uses its long claws today. This ability to access different types of vegetation would have given Therizinosaurus a significant ecological advantage, allowing it to exploit a wide range of plant sources. In addition to feeding, Therizinosaurus's claws may have played a role in display or communication. Just as modern animals use physical traits to attract mates or intimidate rivals, Therizinosaurus could have used its claws as visual signals of dominance or attractiveness. The sheer size and sharpness of the claws would have made a powerful statement, potentially helping to ward off rivals without the need for physical confrontation. Similarly, the claws could have been used in mating rituals, where larger or more impressive claws indicated a healthier, stronger individual. These non-combative uses of the claws would have been important in reducing the risk of injury during social interactions, which is common in many species where size and display play a significant role in communication. While defense was likely not the primary function of the claws, they still would have been useful for self-defense against predators. Though herbivorous, Therizinosaurus's enormous claws could have inflicted serious damage on any predator attempting an attack. A defensive swipe from those scythe-like claws could have deterred or injured even the most determined carnivore, making it a formidable opponent despite its relatively slow-moving, plant-eating nature. The claws, combined with Therizinosaurus's large size, would have made it a difficult and dangerous target for predators, ensuring that it could defend itself when necessary. Another potential use for the claws might have been digging or manipulating the environment. Therizinosaurus could have used its claws to dig into the soil for roots or tubers, adding to its diverse plant-based diet. The claws' curvature and length would have made them effective tools for reaching deeper into the ground or pulling apart dense underbrush to access food. This versatility would have made the claws invaluable in a variety of ecological contexts, from feeding to defending against threats. While defense is often considered the most obvious use for Therizinosaurus's gigantic claws, they likely had multiple roles beyond this. From foraging and manipulating plants to display and possibly defense, these massive claws were a multifunctional tool that helped Therizinosaurus thrive as a unique herbivore in its environment. Their sheer size and adaptability made them one of the most distinctive features of this unusual dinosaur, showcasing the complex evolutionary pressures that shaped its development. Despite being an herbivore, how could Therizinosaurus's formidable size and claws deter even the most fearsome carnivores of its time? Despite its herbivorous diet, Therizinosaurus was an imposing figure in the Cretaceous landscape, standing at over 10 meters tall and wielding some of the most intimidating claws of any known dinosaur. Its sheer size, combined with its enormous scythe-like claws, made it a formidable opponent, capable of deterring even the most fearsome carnivores. While Therizinosaurus was not a predator, its physical attributes gave it powerful defenses that made it difficult and dangerous for carnivores to attack. Therizinosaurus's immense size was a key factor in its defense. At full height, it was as tall as a small building, towering over many of the predators that roamed the same environments. This massive frame alone would have made most carnivores think twice before attempting an attack. Larger herbivores often deter predators simply by their size. The energy and risk involved in taking down such large prey are rarely worth it unless the predator is desperate. Therizinosaurus's considerable bulk, along with its likely slow, methodical movements, would have signaled to potential predators that it was not an easy target. However, size alone was not Therizinosaurus's only defense. Its gigantic sickle-shaped claws, which could grow over 1 meter long, were another powerful deterrent. These claws were sharp and robust, capable of delivering devastating slashes to any predator that got too close. Unlike other herbivores, which might rely solely on their bulk or speed to escape danger, Therizinosaurus could defend itself with these enormous claws. A well-aimed swipe could inflict deep, fatal wounds on even the most determined predator, such as a large theropod like Tarbosaurus. The visual intimidation of these claws alone would have been enough to make most predators think twice before attacking, as the cost of injury would have been too high. Additionally, the long reach of Therizinosaurus's claws meant it could strike at predators from a distance, keeping attackers at bay without needing to engage in close combat. This defensive range, combined with its height and massive limbs, gave it a significant advantage when fending off carnivores. In a confrontation, even a large predator would have had difficulty getting close enough to deliver a fatal bite without risking a severe injury from the claws. The claws may also have played a role in threatening displays. Much like modern animals with horns or tusks, Therizinosaurus could have used its claws to signal strength and deter attackers without actually needing to fight. By raising its arms and displaying its massive claws, it may have scared off predators, using the claws as both a defensive weapon and a visual warning. Therizinosaurus's formidable combination of size and weaponry made it an unlikely target for most predators. Even though it was an herbivore, it possessed the physical traits necessary to protect itself from carnivores, making it a difficult and dangerous creature to hunt. Its ability to defend itself through sheer size and the threat of lethal claws allowed it to thrive in an environment filled with dangerous predators, securing its place as one of the most unique herbivores of the Cretaceous period. Why did the evolution of predators in the Jurassic lead to an unprecedented arms race between carnivores and herbivores? The Jurassic period witnessed one of the most dramatic evolutionary arms races in natural history, a constant struggle for dominance between massive herbivores and the fearsome carnivores that hunted them. As herbivorous dinosaurs, particularly sauropods, grew larger and more formidable, predators were forced to evolve new ways to capture and kill such enormous prey. This escalating dynamic of offense and defense gave rise to a series of evolutionary adaptations on both sides. For herbivores, survival often means evolving physical traits to protect themselves from ever more dangerous predators. Massive body sizes were one of the most obvious defenses, as seen in dinosaurs like Apatosaurus and Diplodocus. Their sheer size made them difficult targets for predators to take down. Additionally, some herbivores developed defensive adaptations like tail clubs and body armor. The Stegosaurus, for example, grew large plates along its back and spiked tails known as thagomisers that could deliver powerful blows to any predator daring enough to approach. On the other side of the arms race, carnivorous dinosaurs had to continually evolve to meet the challenge of hunting these increasingly well-defended prey. The theropod predators of the Jurassic, like Allosaurus and Ceratosaurus, developed stronger jaws, sharper teeth, and more robust bodies to counter the size and defenses of their plant-eating counterparts. Allosaurus, for example, had a unique jaw structure that allowed it to tear through flesh with powerful slashing motions, a crucial adaptation for dealing with the thick hides and massive bodies of sauropods. Beyond physical attributes, the behavioral evolution of predators also played a key role. Some carnivores, like Allosaurus, are believed to have adopted pack hunting strategies to take down the colossal herbivores of the period. Group coordination would have allowed them to target weaker or younger members of a herd, overpowering prey that individual predators couldn't manage alone. This level of cooperation marked a significant leap in predatory tactics, as carnivores adapted not only physically but behaviorally to the ever-growing challenge posed by their prey. This evolutionary arms race between herbivores and carnivores was driven by an endless cycle of adaptation and counter-adaptation. As herbivores evolved to become harder to kill, predators had to become more effective hunters, leading to increasingly complex ecosystems where each side was locked in a constant battle for survival. The result was a dynamic, ever-shifting balance of power that defined the Jurassic landscape, fueling the development of some of the most iconic and fearsome dinosaurs in history. What role did continental drift during the Cretaceous period play in the spread and diversification of dinosaur species? Continental drift during the Cretaceous period played a pivotal role in the spread and diversification of dinosaur species across the globe. As the supercontinent Pangaea continued to break apart, massive landmasses gradually separated into the continents we recognize today, driving dramatic shifts in ecosystems and isolating species. This geographic separation created new environmental niches, forcing dinosaurs to adapt to unique conditions in their regions, ultimately leading to a boom in evolutionary diversity. One of the most significant effects of continental drift was the physical isolation it created between populations. As land masses drifted apart, dinosaur species that were once able to intermingle found themselves confined to increasingly smaller regions. This geographic isolation spurred speciation, where distinct species evolve due to the lack of genetic exchange between separated groups. Over time, the populations that were cut off from one another began to develop unique adaptations to their specific environments. For instance, as the Atlantic Ocean widened, dinosaurs in what would become North America evolved separately from those in Africa and Europe, leading to the emergence of distinct species like the famous Tyrannosaurus rex in North America and Spinosaurus in Africa. The changing landmasses also created diverse ecosystems, from vast desert plains to coastal wetlands, each offering different challenges and opportunities. In response, dinosaurs evolved specialized traits to cope with these environmental changes. Herbivores had to adapt to new types of vegetation as plant life shifted across the globe, while carnivores evolved hunting strategies suited to the prey available in their specific regions. The isolation provided by continental drift allowed certain species to thrive in ways they couldn't have in a more competitive, interconnected world. Moreover, as oceans expanded and divided the continents, new marine habitats formed, leading to the diversification of marine reptiles like mosasaurs. This branching into marine environments mirrored the diversification seen on land, where dinosaurs were developing different body sizes, feeding strategies, and defensive mechanisms based on the challenges of their respective environments. Ultimately, the gradual movement of the Earth's tectonic plates created a mosaic of environments that catalyzed one of the most remarkable bursts of dinosaur diversity in the Mesozoic era. Continental drift didn't just shape the planet, it shaped the very evolution of life on Earth, creating new opportunities for adaptation and survival, and allowing dinosaurs to dominate in virtually every corner of the globe. How did the predator-prey dynamics in the Mesozoic era lead to the development of advanced defense mechanisms in herbivorous dinosaurs? The constant struggle for survival between predators and herbivores in the Mesozoic era fueled an evolutionary arms race that pushed herbivorous dinosaurs to develop increasingly advanced defense mechanisms. With fearsome carnivores like Tyrannosaurus rex, Allosaurus, and other apex predators constantly on the hunt, herbivores faced relentless pressure to adapt in order to survive. This predator-prey dynamic wasn't merely a battle of brute strength. It drove a diverse range of evolutionary responses that allowed herbivores to defend themselves in innovative ways. One of the most obvious defensive adaptations seen in herbivores was physical armor. Dinosaurs like Ankylosaurus developed thick, bony plates along their backs, along with club-like tails that could deliver devastating blows to attackers. These armor-plated giants were essentially walking fortresses, relying on their tough exterior to deter even the most determined predators. Similarly, the Stegosaurus, with its array of large, bony plates and dangerous spikes on its tail, could use its thagomizer as a lethal weapon to fend off carnivores, making it a formidable opponent despite its herbivorous diet. In addition to physical armor, other herbivores developed large horns and frills as part of their defense strategy. Triceratops is perhaps the most iconic example, with its 3 sharp horns and large bony frill. These features were not just ornamental, they provided both a physical barrier to protect the neck and head and were likely used in aggressive displays to ward off predators. Some paleontologists believe that these horns were also used in combat with predators, as evidence of puncture wounds on fossils suggests battles between Triceratops and carnivores like Tyrannosaurus rex. These kinds of adaptations allowed herbivores to stand their ground rather than flee, which was crucial when faced with powerful predators. Another important defense mechanism was size itself. Many herbivores, like the giant sauropods, grew to enormous sizes, which deterred all but the largest predators. Dinosaurs like Argentinosaurus and Brachiosaurus, which could reach heights of over 30 meters, were simply too large for most predators to tackle. Their sheer size was a defense mechanism in and of itself, as even apex predators would have struggled to bring down such massive prey without the risk of injury. Behavioral adaptations also played a role in defense. Herding behavior, for example, became common among many herbivorous species. By traveling in groups, dinosaurs like hadrosaurs could protect the more vulnerable members of their species, such as the young or injured. Predators, even powerful ones, would have found it more challenging to isolate a single individual from a well-organized herd, much like modern-day elephants or bison. This social behavior, combined with physical defenses, created a multi-layered survival strategy. The predator-prey dynamics of the Mesozoic era, characterized by a relentless push and pull between offense and defense, led to a dazzling array of adaptations. Herbivorous dinosaurs, under constant threat, evolved into some of the most heavily defended animals in history, using everything from sheer size to intricate armor and group behaviors to survive. In what ways did smaller predatory dinosaurs develop unique strategies to outcompete larger carnivores in their ecosystems? While massive carnivores like Tyrannosaurus rex and Allosaurus dominated the Mesozoic landscapes, smaller predatory dinosaurs had to evolve unique strategies to survive and thrive alongside these giants. Despite their size disadvantage, these smaller theropods developed a wide range of adaptations that allowed them to exploit niches that larger predators couldn't, often relying on speed, intelligence, and specialized hunting techniques to outcompete their larger counterparts. One of the primary advantages smaller predatory dinosaurs had was their agility and speed. Dinosaurs like Velociraptor and Deinonychus, for instance, were built for quick bursts of movement, allowing them to chase down prey with precision. This agility made them well suited for hunting smaller, faster animals that the larger predators might have struggled to catch. Their lightweight bodies and strong legs gave them the ability to maneuver quickly through dense vegetation or rugged terrain, where larger, slower carnivores would have been at a disadvantage. Another key factor was intelligence. Fossil evidence suggests that some smaller predators, such as velociraptors, had relatively large brains compared to their body size, which likely made them more adept at problem-solving and hunting in packs. Pack hunting would have been a critical strategy for these smaller dinosaurs, allowing them to target larger prey than they could handle individually. Working together in coordinated attacks, they could take down prey that might have been too large or dangerous for a solo hunter. This social hunting behavior not only made them effective predators, but also allowed them to carve out a niche that larger, solitary carnivores couldn't fill. Smaller predatory dinosaurs also adapted by specializing in prey that was outside the reach of the larger carnivores. They likely targeted different species, such as smaller herbivores, young or sick individuals, or even scavenged remains left behind by larger predators. By not competing directly with the apex predators for the same food sources, they minimized the risk of confrontation and were able to coexist. Their ability to hunt in more varied environments, whether it was in the undergrowth on rocky slopes or along the fringes of lakes and rivers, gave them access to prey that larger carnivores might not have been able to reach. Additionally, some smaller predators developed specialized features that gave them unique advantages. For example, dromaeosaurids, like Velociraptor, had sharp, sickle-shaped claws on their feet, which they used to latch onto prey and inflict fatal wounds. These claws were not only deadly, but also allowed for a different hunting approach than the brute force used by larger carnivores. Smaller predators could rely on stealth, ambushing their prey and using their claws to deliver precise, lethal strikes. By evolving these unique strategies, speed, intelligence, social hunting, and specialization, smaller predatory dinosaurs were able to thrive in ecosystems dominated by much larger and more powerful carnivores. They filled essential roles within the food chain, proving that in the prehistoric world, bigger didn't always mean better. How does the asteroid impact theory explain the sudden and dramatic mass extinction at the end of the Cretaceous period? The asteroid impact theory, also known as the Alvarez hypothesis, is widely accepted as the most probable explanation for the sudden and catastrophic mass extinction that occurred around 66 million years ago, marking the end of the Cretaceous period. This event wiped out approximately 75% of all life on Earth, including the non-avian dinosaurs. The asteroid impact theory provides a clear explanation for this extinction, linking it to the devastating environmental consequences of a massive asteroid strike. According to this theory, a large asteroid, estimated to be about 10 to 15 kilometers in diameter, collided with Earth near what is now the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, creating the Chicxulub crater. The impact released an enormous amount of energy, equivalent to billions of nuclear bombs, causing immediate destruction across a vast area. The initial blast likely caused massive tsunamis, earthquakes, and wildfires that ravaged the nearby regions. But the long-term effects of the impact were even more devastating. One of the most significant consequences of the asteroid impact was the release of a vast amount of debris and vaporized rock into the atmosphere. This material formed a thick cloud that spread across the globe, blocking sunlight and plunging the planet into a prolonged period of darkness. Without sunlight, photosynthesis would have halted, causing a collapse in the food chain, beginning with plants and extending to herbivores, and subsequently the carnivores that relied on them. The lack of food would have quickly led to mass starvation, severely impacting all forms of life, particularly the large dinosaurs, which required substantial amounts of food to survive. In addition to the impact winter, the asteroid collision likely triggered other climate-altering events. The impact would have released massive amounts of sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere, leading to acid rain that could have poisoned freshwater sources and destroyed vegetation. This further compounded the already devastated ecosystems, making it nearly impossible for life to recover in the immediate aftermath of the impact. Global temperatures may have dropped significantly, creating harsh, freezing conditions that many species, especially the cold-blooded reptiles like dinosaurs, could not survive. Furthermore, the impact likely caused wildfires to spread across vast regions, burning forests and grasslands. These fires would have released large amounts of carbon dioxide, contributing to a subsequent period of global warming after the initial cooling phase. This rapid shift in climate, from cold and dark to sudden heat, would have created chaotic and unstable environments, making survival even more difficult for already struggling species. The combined effects of the asteroid impact, darkness, freezing temperatures, acid rain, wildfires, and a broken food chain, created an inhospitable environment that caused the extinction of non-avian dinosaurs along with many other species. Smaller animals like mammals and birds, which were more adaptable and could burrow or find shelter, were more likely to survive the harsh conditions. Over time, these survivors repopulated the Earth, leading to the eventual rise of mammals, including humans. In summary, the asteroid impact theory explains the mass extinction at the end of the Cretaceous period through a combination of catastrophic environmental changes, the immediate destruction from the impact, followed by a prolonged impact winter, widespread fires, and dramatic shifts in climate, created conditions that wiped out the dinosaurs and reshaped the course of life on Earth. How did the dominance of large carnivores like T-Rex reshape the balance of ecosystems in the Cretaceous period? The emergence and dominance of apex predators like Tyrannosaurus rex during the Cretaceous period had a profound impact on the balance of ecosystems, reshaping the dynamics of predator-prey relationships and influencing the behavior and evolution of other species. As one of the largest and most fearsome carnivores of its time, T-Rex occupied the top of the food chain, and its presence as a dominant predator created a ripple effect across the entire ecosystem. One of the most significant ways T-Rex reshaped its environment was by regulating the populations of large herbivores. By preying on species like Triceratops and Edmontosaurus, T-Rex kept herbivore populations in check, preventing overgrazing and allowing plant ecosystems to flourish. Without predators like T-Rex, herbivores could have decimated vegetation, leading to ecological collapse. The sheer size and power of T-Rex meant it could target even the largest herbivores, maintaining a balance between predator and prey that helped sustain diverse and healthy ecosystems. The presence of such a formidable predator also influenced the evolution of herbivorous species. To survive the constant threat of T-Rex, herbivores developed advanced defense mechanisms. Triceratops, for instance, evolved large horns and a frill to fend off attackers, while Ankylosaurus developed body armor and a powerful clubbed tail. These adaptations were not only responses to T-Rex, but also contributed to an evolutionary arms race that defined the Cretaceous era. Herbivores needed to be faster, better protected, or more cooperative in herds to avoid becoming easy prey for large carnivores. T-Rex's dominance also likely influenced the behavior of smaller predators. While some theropods like Dromaeosaurus coexisted alongside T-Rex, they would have needed to avoid direct competition. This could have driven smaller carnivores to evolve specialized hunting strategies, focusing on different prey or scavenging the remains of T-Rex kills. This predator hierarchy helped diversify the ecosystem by allowing multiple predator species to coexist without directly competing for the same resources. Furthermore, the presence of T-Rex could have contributed to the scavenger populations, as its massive size and powerful bite would have left behind large carcasses. Scavengers, from smaller dinosaurs to other animals, would have benefited from the remains left behind, creating a nutrient cycle that enriched the environment. Even in death, the role of T-Rex was crucial in maintaining the health of the ecosystem. The rise of large carnivores like T-Rex didn't just reshape the food chain, it influenced the evolution, behavior, and survival of countless species, creating a complex and interconnected web of life that defined the late Cretaceous world. What other alternative theories, such as massive volcanic eruptions or climate shifts, challenge the asteroid hypothesis? While the asteroid impact theory is widely accepted as the leading explanation for the mass extinction that wiped out the dinosaurs, several alternative theories challenge or complement this idea, focusing on other catastrophic events that may have contributed to the extinction. Two of the most prominent alternative hypotheses involve massive volcanic eruptions, specifically the Deccan Traps in India, and gradual climate shifts that destabilized ecosystems long before the asteroid hit. One significant alternative theory involves the volcanic activity of the Deccan Traps, an area in western India that experienced one of the largest volcanic events in Earth's history. This period of intense volcanic eruptions occurred over a span of thousands of years and released enormous amounts of lava, gases, and ash into the atmosphere. The sheer scale of these eruptions would have had dramatic effects on the global environment. Volcanic activity releases vast quantities of carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide, both of which can alter the climate. Sulfur dioxide, in particular, can cause global cooling by reflecting sunlight away from the Earth, while carbon dioxide contributes to long-term warming through the greenhouse effect. Proponents of the Deccan Traps theory argue that the climatic shifts caused by these volcanic eruptions may have already placed significant stress on ecosystems before the asteroid impact. These eruptions could have led to acid rain, destroying plant life and acidifying oceans, which would have disrupted the food chains that both marine and land-based dinosaurs relied on. Prolonged volcanic activity could also have caused a gradual breakdown in ecosystems, making species more vulnerable to extinction when the asteroid eventually struck. Another theory proposes that long-term climate shifts unrelated to either volcanic activity or asteroid impact may have contributed to the dinosaurs' decline. The late Cretaceous period was marked by gradual climate cooling and fluctuations in sea levels, likely caused by tectonic activity and changes in ocean currents. These shifts would have affected global temperatures and weather patterns, slowly altering the habitats of many dinosaur species. For instance, sea level changes could have flooded coastal regions, reducing the habitable land for dinosaurs and altering the distribution of plant life, which many herbivorous dinosaurs depended on. Over time, this slow environmental change could have weakened ecosystems, leading to the decline of dinosaur populations. One hypothesis suggests that dinosaurs, which had dominated Earth for millions of years, may have already been in a period of decline due to these climate changes, with some species struggling to adapt to cooler and more variable conditions. If dinosaurs were already weakened by these slow-moving environmental shifts, the asteroid impact may have been the final blow in a chain of events rather than the sole cause of their extinction. There is also a possibility that the mass extinction was caused by a combination of these events, an interplay between volcanic eruptions, climate shifts, and the asteroid impact. For example, the Deccan Traps volcanic activity could have primed the planet for disaster by triggering climate change and environmental stress, with the asteroid impact delivering the final catastrophic blow. This multi-causal approach is gaining traction among some paleontologists, who argue that multiple factors likely contributed to such a widespread and sudden extinction event. While the asteroid impact theory remains the most widely accepted explanation for the mass extinction at the end of the Cretaceous period, alternative theories involving massive volcanic eruptions like the Deccan Traps and gradual climate shifts offer additional perspectives. These events may have either weakened ecosystems prior to the asteroid impact or played a more significant role in the extinction, challenging the idea that a single event caused the demise of the dinosaurs. How did the impact of the asteroid cause a global chain reaction, from firestorms to nuclear winter that doomed the dinosaurs? The asteroid impact that struck Earth around 66 million years ago triggered a catastrophic chain reaction of events that ultimately led to the mass extinction of the dinosaurs and countless other species. This series of disasters, from immediate firestorms to a prolonged nuclear winter, created a planet-wide environmental collapse that rendered survival nearly impossible for most life forms. The magnitude of the asteroid's effects highlights the global scope of the extinction. When the asteroid, estimated to be 10 to 15 kilometers in diameter, struck Earth near what is now the Yucatan Peninsula, it unleashed an unimaginable amount of energy, equivalent to billions of nuclear bombs exploding simultaneously. The initial impact caused massive shockwaves that triggered earthquakes and tsunamis, devastating the surrounding regions. The force of the impact vaporized rock, sending vast amounts of debris into the atmosphere. The heat generated by the impact also sparked massive wildfires that spread across continents, consuming forests and grasslands, leading to widespread destruction of plant life and releasing massive amounts of carbon into the atmosphere. One of the most immediate and deadly consequences of the impact was the global firestorm that followed. The energy from the impact superheated the debris and ejected molten rock, which rained down across the planet. This debris ignited widespread fires, turning vast areas of forests and ecosystems into smoldering ash. The firestorms not only destroyed habitats but also released enormous amounts of smoke, ash, and soot into the atmosphere, contributing to a thick cloud that blocked out sunlight. This reduction in sunlight caused what scientists refer to as a nuclear winter. With sunlight unable to penetrate the thick layer of atmospheric debris, global temperatures plummeted. The loss of sunlight disrupted the process of photosynthesis, causing plant life to die off rapidly. This collapse of plant ecosystems had a cascading effect throughout the food chain. Herbivorous dinosaurs, which relied on plant life for sustenance, began to starve. As the herbivores died off, carnivorous dinosaurs lost their primary food source, leading to their extinction as well. Marine ecosystems also suffered as the reduction in sunlight caused plankton populations to crash, disrupting the base of the oceanic food web and leading to the extinction of marine reptiles and other sea life. In addition to the global cooling caused by the loss of sunlight, the asteroid impact likely released vast amounts of sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Sulfur dioxide would have contributed to acid rain, which would have further damaged plant life, soil quality, and freshwater sources. This acidic fallout poisoned ecosystems and made it even harder for life to recover. The release of carbon dioxide, on the other hand, likely contributed to a longer-term greenhouse effect after the initial cooling period, causing temperatures to swing dramatically from cold to hot in the following years, creating unstable climate conditions that further hindered the survival of any remaining species. The nuclear winter that followed the asteroid impact likely lasted for several years, and during this time, ecosystems that had been finely balanced for millions of years were thrown into chaos. The dinosaurs, particularly the large, cold-blooded species, were unable to cope with the rapid and extreme changes in their environment. Smaller, more adaptable animals like mammals and birds, which could burrow or find shelter, had a better chance of surviving through the worst of the post-impact fallout. In summary, the asteroid impact caused a global chain reaction that began with firestorms and tsunamis and escalated into a prolonged nuclear winter that devastated ecosystems worldwide. The combination of wildfires, blocked sunlight, global cooling, acid rain, and the collapse of food chains created conditions too harsh for most species, including the dinosaurs, to survive. This chain reaction ultimately led to one of the most significant mass extinctions in Earth's history. What evidence do scientists have that suggests certain dinosaur species may have survived for a short time after the asteroid impact? Although the asteroid impact at the end of the Cretaceous period is widely believed to have caused the mass extinction of the non-avian dinosaurs, some evidence suggests that a few species might have survived for a short time after the impact, possibly in isolated regions or under unique environmental conditions. While the extinction event was devastating and global, there are signs that not all dinosaurs vanished instantly, and some might have lingered on briefly before their eventual extinction. One key piece of evidence comes from the discovery of what are called Paleocene dinosaur fossils. These fossils, found in areas like the Ojo Alamo sandstone in New Mexico and Colorado, have been dated to the Paleocene epoch, which began immediately after the Cretaceous period, approximately 66 million years ago. The presence of dinosaur fossils in these younger rock layers has sparked debates among paleontologists. If the dating is accurate, these fossils could suggest that some dinosaur species survived the initial asteroid impact and managed to exist for thousands or even hundreds of thousands of years afterward. However, this evidence is controversial because the fossils could have been redeposited from older layers due to geological processes, making it seem like they are younger than they truly are. Another possible explanation for survival comes from isolated regions that may have been temporarily sheltered from the full brunt of the asteroid's effects. Some scientists propose that certain areas of the planet, like Antarctica or remote islands, could have experienced less extreme environmental damage immediately after the impact. In these refuges, small populations of dinosaurs might have been able to survive for a short time, depending on the availability of food and the stability of the local climate. These potential pockets of survival, however, would have been small and isolated, and even if dinosaurs survived there, they eventually would have faced extinction as the global environmental effects of the asteroid, such as the nuclear winter and food chain collapse, continued to worsen. Additionally, some evidence suggests that smaller, more adaptable species, like certain birds, which are considered the only surviving lineage of dinosaurs, had a better chance of surviving in the aftermath of the impact. Their smaller size, faster reproductive rates, and ability to exploit a wide range of food sources may have given them an advantage over larger dinosaurs. While most non-avian dinosaurs were too large and specialized to cope with the rapidly changing conditions, small theropods or bird-like dinosaurs might have survived slightly longer, scavenging or adapting to dwindling resources before eventually succumbing to the harsh post-impact environment. Finally, the presence of dead zones in the fossil record where few species are found in the immediate aftermath of the extinction event complicates the picture. These gaps suggest that the extinction did not happen instantaneously and that there might have been periods of ecological instability where small groups of surviving dinosaurs struggled to persist. Over time, however, even these survivors would have been unable to maintain viable populations as the global climate and ecosystems continued to degrade. In summary, while the asteroid impact is generally seen as the primary cause of the dinosaurs' extinction, evidence from Paleocene fossils, potential refuges, and smaller adaptable species suggests that some dinosaurs may have survived for a short time after the impact. These survivors, however, would have been few in number and ultimately faced extinction due to the long-term environmental effects of the impact. How could the Deccan Traps volcanic eruptions have created toxic conditions that contributed to the dinosaurs' extinction? The Deccan Traps, a vast volcanic region in present-day India, experienced a period of intense volcanic activity around the same time as the asteroid impact, approximately 66 million years ago. This massive volcanic eruption, which spanned thousands of years, released vast amounts of gases and lava into the atmosphere, potentially contributing to the environmental collapse that led to the extinction of the dinosaurs. The toxic conditions created by the Deccan Traps eruptions would have been catastrophic for life on Earth, playing a significant role in the mass extinction event, either independently or in conjunction with the asteroid impact. One of the primary ways the Deccan Traps eruptions could have contributed to the extinction was through the release of sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere. Sulfur dioxide is a highly reactive gas that, when released in large quantities, can form sulfate aerosols, tiny particles that reflect sunlight. This would have caused a dramatic cooling of the Earth's surface, a phenomenon known as volcanic winter. As sunlight was blocked out, global temperatures would have dropped significantly, leading to a harsh, cold climate that could have devastated ecosystems, particularly those already weakened by the asteroid impact. Plant life, which relied on sunlight for photosynthesis, would have been one of the first casualties, triggering a collapse in the food chain that affected herbivores and, in turn, the carnivorous dinosaurs that preyed on them. In addition to sulfur dioxide, the Deccan Traps eruptions released large amounts of carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas that could have caused long-term global warming. While the short-term effect of sulfur dioxide would have been cooling, the long-term buildup of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere would have led to a greenhouse effect, causing global temperatures to rise once the sulfur dioxide settled out of the atmosphere. This rapid shift from a cold volcanic winter to a hot greenhouse climate would have created extreme instability in the global climate, making it difficult for ecosystems to recover or for species to adapt. This climate seesaw, from extreme cold to intense heat, would have been lethal for many species, especially dinosaurs, which were large and less adaptable to rapid environmental changes. The volcanic eruptions also released toxic gases such as hydrogen sulfide and chlorine, which could have contributed to acid rain. Acid rain would have severely damaged plant life, acidified water sources, and disrupted soil quality, making it harder for plants to grow and animals to find food. The combination of acid rain and cooling temperatures would have devastated both terrestrial and marine ecosystems. In oceans, acidification would have killed the base of the food chain, leading to a collapse of marine ecosystems. This, in turn, would have impacted marine reptiles and other sea life, compounding the global environmental crisis. Another significant effect of the Deccan Traps volcanic eruptions would have been the widespread release of volcanic ash and particulate matter into the atmosphere. This ash, when dispersed across the planet, would have blocked sunlight and contributed to global cooling, much like the sulfur dioxide. The ash could have settled over vast regions, covering plant life and disrupting photosynthesis, further contributing to the collapse of ecosystems. The combination of volcanic ash, toxic gases, and extreme climate fluctuations would have created a hostile environment for most forms of life, making it difficult for species to recover or adapt. The timing of the Deccan Traps eruptions is crucial to understanding their role in the mass extinction. While the asteroid impact is believed to have been the immediate trigger, the volcanic activity may have already been weakening ecosystems before the asteroid hit. This means that dinosaurs and other species were likely facing environmental stress from volcanic-induced climate shifts, acid rain, and habitat destruction, even before the asteroid struck. In this scenario, the asteroid impact would have been the final blow to already vulnerable species, tipping the planet into a full-scale extinction event. In summary, the Deccan Traps volcanic eruptions could have created toxic and unstable conditions that contributed significantly to the mass extinction of the dinosaurs. By releasing sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and other toxic gases, the eruptions triggered severe climate changes, first cooling and then warming, that would have made it difficult for ecosystems to survive. Acid rain, ash fallout, and long-term environmental stress would have further compounded the crisis, ensuring that dinosaurs and many other species could not survive in the aftermath of these dual disasters. In what ways did volcanic activity potentially alter the climate, causing long-term environmental damage that dinosaur species couldn't survive? Volcanic activity, particularly the massive eruptions associated with the Deccan Traps in India, could have significantly altered the climate and contributed to long-term environmental damage that many species, including dinosaurs, could not survive. These eruptions, which spanned thousands of years and released vast amounts of gases and volcanic material into the atmosphere, likely caused dramatic shifts in global climate patterns that destabilized ecosystems and made survival increasingly difficult for many species. One of the primary ways volcanic activity could have altered the climate was through the release of sulfur dioxide, SO2, into the atmosphere. When SO2 is ejected into the stratosphere during large volcanic eruptions, it combines with water vapor to form sulfate aerosols. These aerosols reflect sunlight away from the Earth, reducing the amount of solar radiation that reaches the surface and leading to a cooling effect known as a volcanic winter. This period of global cooling would have had devastating consequences for plant life, as reduced sunlight would have disrupted photosynthesis, the process that fuels most ecosystems. As plants died off, herbivorous dinosaurs, which depended on abundant vegetation for food, would have faced starvation. In turn, carnivorous dinosaurs, reliant on herbivores as their primary food source, would have suffered as well, creating a cascade of ecological collapse. The cooling effect from volcanic aerosols could have lasted for years or even decades, plunging the planet into a prolonged period of cooler temperatures. Dinosaurs, particularly the larger species, would have struggled to adapt to these rapid climate changes. Cold-blooded reptiles like dinosaurs relied on external temperatures to regulate their body heat, and a significant drop in global temperatures could have been fatal, especially in regions where they were already living near the limits of their thermal tolerance. In addition to the cooling effects caused by sulfur dioxide, the Deccan Traps eruptions also released large amounts of carbon dioxide, CO2, a potent greenhouse gas. While the short-term impact of volcanic activity would have caused global cooling, the long-term buildup of CO2 in the atmosphere would have had the opposite effect, leading to a greenhouse effect and global warming. This dramatic shift from a volcanic winter to a greenhouse climate would have created environmental instability, with extreme fluctuations in temperature, making it difficult for ecosystems to recover or stabilize. Dinosaurs, which had evolved to thrive in specific climate conditions, likely could not adapt quickly enough to survive these rapid changes. Another significant impact of volcanic activity was the release of toxic gases such as hydrogen sulfide, H2S, and chlorine into the atmosphere. These gases could have caused acid rain, which would have further damaged ecosystems. Acid rain would have poisoned water sources, degraded soil quality, and destroyed vegetation, compounding the effects of cooling and warming. The collapse of plant life due to acid rain and reduced sunlight would have decimated the food supply for herbivores, while the resulting habitat destruction would have left little room for species to relocate or adapt. In marine environments, volcanic activity could have caused ocean acidification, as large amounts of CO2 dissolved in seawater would have lowered its pH, making it more acidic. This would have had a devastating effect on marine organisms, particularly those with calcium carbonate shells or skeletons, such as plankton and corals, which form the foundation of the marine food web. The collapse of marine ecosystems would have echoed the devastation on land, leading to a global extinction event that affected nearly every form of life. In summary, the long-term environmental damage caused by volcanic activity likely involved a combination of global cooling, followed by warming, acid rain, and habitat destruction. These factors would have destabilized ecosystems and created conditions that dinosaurs, especially the larger and more specialized species, could not survive. The extreme shifts in climate, coupled with the widespread destruction of vegetation and water sources, made it nearly impossible for dinosaur species to recover, contributing to their eventual extinction. 39. How did small mammals manage to survive the mass extinction event that wiped out the dinosaurs, and what key traits helped them thrive afterward? While the mass extinction event that wiped out the dinosaurs was catastrophic for most life on Earth, small mammals managed to survive and eventually thrive in the harsh post-impact environment. Several key traits of mammals played crucial roles in their survival during the extinction event and helped them take advantage of the newly available ecological niches once the dinosaurs were gone. One of the most important traits that helped small mammals survive was their size. Being small had significant advantages during a time when the environment was undergoing dramatic and sudden changes. Small mammals required fewer resources to survive, and they could more easily find shelter in burrows, crevices, or dense vegetation. These shelters would have protected them from the immediate devastation caused by the asteroid impact, such as firestorms, falling debris, and extreme temperature fluctuations. By burrowing or hiding underground, mammals could escape the worst of the environmental destruction that followed the impact, including the deadly nuclear winter that ensued when dust and debris blocked out sunlight. Another key trait that helped mammals survive was their ability to regulate their body temperature. Unlike the cold-blooded reptiles, such as dinosaurs, which relied on external temperatures to regulate their body heat, mammals are endothermic, warm-blooded. This means they can maintain a stable internal body temperature regardless of external conditions. After the asteroid impact, global temperatures dropped dramatically and the ability to stay warm would have been a critical advantage. Mammals' ability to generate and conserve heat allowed them to survive in the colder post-impact environment, while dinosaurs, which were more sensitive to environmental temperature changes, struggled to cope with the cooling climate. Mammals also had more diverse and flexible diets compared to many dinosaurs. Most of the non-avian dinosaurs were highly specialized in their feeding habits, with large herbivores relying on specific types of plants and large carnivores depending on those herbivores for food. When plant life collapsed after the asteroid impact, herbivorous dinosaurs were unable to find enough food, and this in turn affected the carnivores. Mammals, on the other hand, were omnivorous or insectivorous, allowing them to feed on a variety of food sources, including insects, seeds, and detritus. Insects, in particular, would have thrived in the decaying plant matter that proliferated after the extinction event, providing small mammals with an abundant food source during a time when other animals struggled to find sustenance. Reproductive strategies also gave mammals an advantage. Mammals reproduced relatively quickly compared to dinosaurs, which likely laid eggs and had longer incubation periods. Mammals give birth to live young and have shorter reproductive cycles, allowing them to recover their populations faster than the dinosaurs. Moreover, mammals could nurse their young, providing them with a secure source of nutrition during a time when food was scarce. This nurturing behavior may have helped mammals sustain their populations when other species could not. In the aftermath of the extinction event, small mammals were able to capitalize on the sudden disappearance of the dinosaurs. With the dominant terrestrial predators and herbivores gone, ecological niches that had been previously inaccessible were now available. Mammals, being adaptable and opportunistic, quickly evolved to fill these vacant roles. They diversified rapidly, evolving into a wide range of forms, from small insectivores to early primates, eventually giving rise to the modern mammalian orders we see today, including humans. In summary, small mammals survived the mass extinction event thanks to a combination of their small size, warm-bloodedness, diverse diets, and reproductive strategies. These traits allowed them to endure the harsh conditions immediately after the asteroid impact, and enabled them to thrive in the new post-dinosaur world, ultimately setting the stage for the rise of mammals as the dominant terrestrial animals on Earth. What evolutionary changes in mammals following the extinction of the dinosaurs led to the eventual rise of humans? The extinction of the dinosaurs at the end of the Cretaceous period, around 66 million years ago, created an unprecedented opportunity for mammals to evolve and diversify. With the dominant dinosaurs wiped out, mammals were able to occupy ecological niches that had previously been out of reach. Over millions of years, a series of evolutionary changes in mammals, driven by natural selection and environmental shifts, led to the rise of more complex species, eventually culminating in the emergence of humans. One of the first major evolutionary shifts in mammals following the extinction event was their rapid diversification. With dinosaurs no longer dominating the land, mammals began to evolve into a wide variety of forms, filling niches that had been left vacant. They adapted to different habitats, from forests and grasslands to rivers and oceans. This period of rapid evolutionary experimentation saw the emergence of many mammalian lineages, including the ancestors of primates, which are directly related to the lineage that would eventually give rise to humans. A key evolutionary change that contributed to the rise of humans was the development of larger brains in some mammalian species, particularly in primates. Early primates evolved in the aftermath of the extinction, thriving in trees where they developed better hand-eye coordination and depth perception to navigate complex environments. Their hands evolved to grasp, and their eyesight improved, making them highly adaptable in arboreal settings. Over time, these early primates began to develop larger brains, which allowed for more complex social behaviors, problem-solving abilities, and communication, traits that would later become critical in the evolution of hominins, human ancestors. Another important change was the shift in diet and dentition. As ecosystems changed, some mammals, particularly early primates, became more omnivorous. meaning they could eat a variety of foods, from plants and fruit to small animals and insects. This dietary flexibility allowed primates to survive in diverse environments and adapt to changing conditions. The evolution of teeth capable of processing a wide range of food types helped ensure the survival and success of early primates, including the eventual ancestors of humans. The development of bipedalism, walking on two legs, was one of the most significant evolutionary milestones that led to the rise of humans. Bipedalism likely evolved in the ancestors of humans around 6 to 7 million years ago in response to environmental changes, such as the spread of savannas in Africa. As forests receded and grasslands expanded, early hominins began to walk upright, which freed their hands for carrying tools, food, and other objects. Walking on two legs also allowed for more efficient long-distance travel, giving early humans an advantage in finding food and avoiding predators. Another critical evolutionary change was the development of tool use and social cooperation. Early humans, including species like Homo habilis and Homo erectus, began to craft simple stone tools, using them to hunt, process food, and protect themselves. Tool use required higher levels of cognitive function, which in turn favored the evolution of even larger brains. Alongside tool use, early humans developed complex social structures and communication systems, which helped them survive in increasingly challenging environments. The ability to cooperate in groups, share resources, and develop strategies for hunting and gathering was a key factor in the success of early humans. As these early human ancestors spread across the globe, they continued to evolve, developing new technologies, social behaviors, and eventually language. These traits set the stage for the emergence of modern humans, Homo sapiens, around 300,000 years ago. The combination of cognitive abilities, tool use, social cooperation, and adaptability allowed humans to become the dominant species on Earth, capable of shaping the environment in ways no other species had done before. In summary, the evolutionary changes that led to the rise of humans included the development of larger brains, bipedalism, tool use, and complex social behaviors. These adaptations, along with dietary flexibility and the ability to thrive in diverse environments, allowed early mammals, particularly primates, to evolve into the intelligent, adaptable species that would eventually become humans. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a good night's sleep. 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 Have a good night's sleep.